broadcast program to bring you a special roundtable
event. Welcome to A Natural State of Mind, a frothing podcast.
Syllabus.
What's on the agenda today?
That was our 30 seconds.
Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to A Natural State of Mind, a disc golf podcast. I am Chris Wyman. We've got other two hosts with us as well. I'm going to let them do their thing. So let's go with...
Can we restart?
Can we restart? What happened?
He kept trying to take.
I was
He didn't do his I finally pulled it apart and it came out.
This is actually good. Let's keep it going.
Live.
So this is how we roll. We were just talking about how do we push the boundaries, and we're doing that right now. This is real. This is what happens in real life.
Right.
Mike, you have a great laugh, by the way.
Yeah, he does. All right, there we go. Peace.
All right. Well, yep. So I'm Chris Wyman, and I'm going to let the other two hosts introduce themselves and do a little rant.
I'm Seawolf and Rant.
I'm Michael. Rant also.
Rant to the rant.
All right. Well, we will probably rant more and also go off onto
can
several
rant all day.
tangents. Yeah. So yeah, welcome to the podcast. We are going to be doing a Facebook or YouTube live next weekend. So we will we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Probably next Monday,
Next Monday is what the day looks like.
because somebody said they had to do something on Sunday, didn't they?
Well, I might do something on Sunday too.
There's a lot of things going on Sunday. That the tournaments, for one, but
A lot of tournaments on the same weekend.
it's the end of the year. That's the way it is. But yes, we're doing that. Also, we're going to be putting out this content on a Facebook page called A Natural State of Mind.
And I love that we have a Facebook page and an Instagram coming soon, I'm sure.
It's, yeah,
There's-
unless somebody runs out and takes it real fast, but
Oh,
which
shit.
I doubt they are.
We need to make that tonight then.
I'll do it right now. I'll
Probably
do it while we're,
smart.
while we're doing it.
There we go. All right.
But anyways, yeah, it'll be Natural State of Mind. I'll put a link out on all the disc golf pages. We just want to put it out on our page so we control the page, because I'm a controlling Nazi freak. No,
Oof, don't use that word.
I know I'm not. I am not controlling. I just want things ran a certain way and things said a certain way, and it makes it tough at times when you're on other people's pages. So why not have your own?
You know, I think you're good at it. I was thinking Nazi for the word not to say, but controlling can be good in some ways.
Controlling can be. It's just it's how it has to be sometimes, because if not, there can be disorder, because your interpretation of something and my interpretation of something are two different things most of the time.
There has to be structure. What do you think, Mike? Is that true?
Structure definitely needs to be in place for sure. I think it's a fine balance.
It's a tough balance,
As with most things in life, it's a give and take.
and you can say whatever you want in life, and there's freedom of speech. That's great, but there's like a little asterisk that says there's going to be repercussions. I don't think you get off scot-free. So
Speaking of freedom of speech, there's been a lot of that lately in the 501. Well, just the state. Let's say the state. Central Arkansas.
no, it's been on the 501 page. I mean, that's where this comes from.
Yeah. So, and
For whatever reason, again, we put it on the 501 page, even though the person who put it out has their own page, or Diamond State or Arkansas Disc Golf, but they chose to put it on 501. I'm sorry, I wasn't going to rant, but
I got him to do that. Anyways, balance was mentioned earlier. Disc golf brings balance to my life. So I prefer not to have the drama, but sometimes you got to deal with it. So
I think that's just the nature of anything growing too.
it is. It is. And what was talked about, I don't condone. How it was brought up and by who it was brought up, I just have a problem with that. That's all. That's all this is. It's nothing more, nothing less. I just want to see a cohesive Central Arkansas disc golf scene because since I've been doing this for the last 3 years, all I've heard are the stories of this faction, why the 501 is, all this dismay, whatever. And I just been trying to work hard to get the North and the South. I mean, that's the way I look at it. It's kind of crazy. The north of the river and the south of the river to try to get on the same page. And for I feel like one or two tournaments they both sponsored and helped out. But until that happens, there'll always be a divide, and you'll always have that kind of stuff that happened on the page the other day. So if you don't know, go read it. It's a good read. I quit reading them. I really did after I spoke my piece. I just said, it doesn't really, because people bait you to say things. I learned that last year, and I probably got into this more than I should have this year with that. But still move on and start doing things. Hopefully, the way we see the right way. So, and we hope you'll join us. And it's for you. It really is everything we do. All this is for the players. All the events we've run, all the just to make a better disc golf scene for people. That's all. Because it was pretty trashy. There was no tournaments. Definitely was no flex starts. There was a lot of things. Just running a mini here and there. Now you have more options than you know what to do with. It's just like, what side of the river do you want to go play on? That's really where it's at, because luckily Burns coming back.
Yeah, that was announced today.
Yeah.
9 through 15 or whatever that was. 6 holes, maybe 7. I don't know. Depends on how you count them. That they did that and Rez, man. We were talking about Rez. Rez was just RIP. Yeah.
RIP.
I was trying to think what blue would be. It's like resuscitate. What is the? It's a DNR, right? Do not resuscitate. So it's just an R. It's been resuscitated. So Burns Blue R. That doesn't really roll off the tongue very well.
It's been revived
Yeah.
partially.
It's got it's
It's
no longer
limping, but it's
flatline.
there.
It's gone. So it's like, but
Burns Revive sounds good.
do a Burns revival tour. You know, the city gets it. North Little Rock gets it. No matter who goes and asks them or tells them or wants control of that mighty power of the North Little Rock parks, because I just don't. I get to change the baskets. That's all you get to do. That's cool.
Here's my question. How many people do you think are actually only going to play 9 through 15?
Probably the same amount of people. Well, I should. The same people. They're going to play all of them as much as whatever's out there. That was kind of. Let's see. 9 is.
Is it blocked off?
9's the first one on the one side of the road.
Yes, the one right by the party
And
lot.
then 15 is essentially you get to play from one end of the road. You'd make the loop and come back to the other side of that same road, right?
15 was the elevated.
Elevated,
basketball.
right, yeah.
So you just play that pocket.
You play
plus
that
9.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, 9 is the start of that, so
Is it
it's
the
in the
start?
pocket.
Yeah, it's the one across from the fields.
So you get to play everything. They don't want you on the side of the freeway. They don't want you over on that one. Is what I'm taking. So
I just know there's going to be people out there that
For
have
sure.
been fiending to play it, and they're going to be like, "Oh, this looks fun to play."
for sure.
I don't see a problem with this.
Yeah.
So I just think it's. I think North Little Rock Park should put that kind of information out as well. I mean, Zach and everybody taking, and not that Zach's a liar, but everybody just taking for granted that's what was said. I mean, that to me, that's an official announcement kind of thing. I do appreciate Zach getting that information out there and talking with the parks. But yeah, you know, that's what he told me. So it must be right.
We do know that they're going to have pickleball tournament out there soon.
I'm going to be playing it. I took up pickleball.
Oh,
And we lost another one.
I'm just doing disc golf podcasts. I'm not doing,
Are you teaming up with Chase?
yes, no, he would never team up with me.
He sounds like he's got a winner of a partner.
He's there. Yeah, and I'm not that guy.
Well,
you're not that guy, pal.
No.
yeah. So I just want to say thank you, Wolford, because you have done a lot for the scene.
Yeah, no,
since
that's-
I've been back in it.
It's
So.
I
if you're
echo that too.
if you're gonna do something, I believe in doing it right. And not, my dad always said, don't half-ass things in life. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. Don't half-ass it. Go all the way. And with that comes, people always ask me, you're a leader. You're a leader. Do speak on this. You're a leader. Speak on that. And as a leader, I spoke on what I thought was right. Whoever did whatever at a tournament. The TD will announce that if he finds it necessary. It's not necessary to be brought out. To me, that just doesn't make a nice cohesive.
Well, and from my understanding, it was handled appropriately and how it should be handled.
We all know James was the TD. Yes, he did, and the PDGA takes a second. That process is you file a complaint, they follow up, and then they have like a little panel that dishes out what your punishment's going to be. And you can find that. And that's all information on the pdga.com page. Somebody brought that up to me with the Killer Bees tournament one time because somebody had signed up and they were on that list on not being able to play. And I was just like, okay, well, tell Tom. It's not my tournament, but I appreciate that. Let me learn something. But anyways, so that's kind of the butt end of this thing. We're going to get picked up with fun, exciting other things. We're at a new place. This is D Harp's Casa de D Harp. He just
Beautiful.
Yeah. I'm gonna get that put across some sort of cursive font, some 1776 cursive or something like that. I put these up here. He's gonna punch me in the head.
Or the disc might fall and do it.
Yeah, they did fall earlier, so that's our.
You put tacks in my wall.
Yeah, I know. I can also put sheetrock mud too, so it's okay. Or toothpaste, or really anything with something that's small. You can just put gum in there. It doesn't matter. But we're doing it here. We got the sound and everything set up. Great. I hope it sounds great. I feel like it does. Wyman went out and bought 2 new mics for us, and I hope they're sounding good. And he's fanning himself. Are you hot?
No, I'm just doing that.
Okay. Is that your
I
nervous
think it looks
tick?
cool.
Is that your nervous tick?
distinguished, man?
Yeah.
Well, it's not making a
You guys are all
clicking
wearing your
noise
glasses. I was like,
or.
I'm gonna wear my readers.
No, I was talking about you fanning yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
also a distinguished thing as well.
Yeah, you wouldn't know, Wolford.
Is it?
Yeah, you gotta understand.
I'm the distinguished gentleman. That's a good Eddie Murphy movie. There's my old person. I was like, ooh, what's that cool yellow light over there? But that's the grow area. But yeah, Dan, I'm living with Dan over here, and it's cool. And I don't know if we'll continue to do it from here, but Mike just lives right down the road. So 2 out of 3. Sorry, Wyman, you lose. We win. West Side.
Yeah, nobody wants to do it downtown
No,
in my apartment.
Nobody wants to get shot by your downstairs neighbor as they're just popping off shots, or the local.
Hey, I understand completely. I'm glad I wasn't home when that happened.
I'm glad you weren't either. That's never fun. But anyways, we'll have that. We'll see what we talk about. We talked about the site. We talked about all that good stuff. We're gonna do YouTube. We got our 50 followers. Thank you, Jamie Callis.
Yes,
Which
thank you, Jamie.
I'm gonna look right now. It was at 96 plays, y'all. I was like, oh wow, we're gonna get something that at 100 plays. I know, Mike, it's not very exciting for you, seeing as your content got like a lot of plays.
Growth is growth. That's the important thing.
And since he's been brought on to the podcast, which
100
I'm so glad that you want to be a part of that.
100 plays, y'all. Thank you, Jamie.
my
We
God.
actually have
It's
On
all
YouTube?
Mike.
yeah, on YouTube.
Nice.
That's I can go through the analytics real quick if everybody wants to listen. I'm just playing.
It's all Mike and Jamie. And people are like, I know that Mike guy. He's on this Twitch kind of gamer thing.
Yeah, I remember him from this gamer. What was it?
Gameology.
No, what were you doing? Fact or fiction or
Luck or skill?
Luck or skill?
Yeah,
I enjoyed watching
the
it.
classic.
It's actually probably
The cringe.
bandwidth. Would you say it's bandwidth?
Bandwidth.
On some of that stuff, that's what matters, right? If you get that shot, because the bandwidth, like if your computer lags, it doesn't necessarily, you won't get that kill.
Yeah, you need a good setup for it, sure.
That's what I was getting at. Sorry. Yeah, I know. I just know that playing a lot of games that if you're on 56K, I know y'all, I know,
Jeez.
and you're playing against
I mean,
people
hey, I
with
know this,
with
but-
with a cable.
No, we're in fiber now.
Yeah, but this
we
was
are,
this
yeah.
was I'm dating myself here, obviously. Man, you got smoked. Like by the time you're done swinging your sword, you already got your head lopped off and dead. You know,
You're not
And-
responding
No,
either,
no,
yeah.
it was so bad. But
You just lagged out of the game. The game.
I actually did get 48.8 on my download speed for 50. I lived right next to a switch box, a telephone switch box. I was living.
Blazing.
I could download a song in like 2 days. It was
2 days?
It's amazing. But,
My
man,
tower was so heavy.
It's the same quality essentially as the tours.
Whoa,
Okay.
now.
Oh, dude,
Whoa.
yeah, that was a
Whoa.
shot fired, man.
That was funny, but I got to stick up for my homies.
Yeah, that was. I'm so glad I thought of that
Talk
right
about
there.
growth,
dude.
though. Every year it's gotten
Always get better.
exponentially better.
It is, and it has, and it will.
And it will continue to.
And they will catch up to. I just feel like it's got to still. I mean, somebody big.
I don't think
like,
a lot of people realize how
Nike.
much money it takes to do certain things.
I don't think they do either. No.
I mean, it is an immense amount of money.
And
Disc golf, in the grand scheme of things, is still very small.
man, I play $15
Yes.
a month for your coverage. I should see it
Which I do
crystal
understand
clear.
that.
No, that $15 a month
No,
is
but I
chump change.
understand it is a product that is being paid for, and it's kind of our job to set expectations and then meet or exceed them.
That is true.
So
and
if a large amount of people are given expectations that are too high, then obviously that's where the backlash and frustration comes from. Now, if people are watching and going, well, why is this not as crystal clear as like a golf broadcast that's using satellite truck, millions upon hundreds of millions of dollars, then that might be their own fault for setting that high of an expectation.
Yeah.
I see what the WWE rolls into the arena with and how they broadcast,
Well,
and I
that's the-
see y'all rolling with Vans. So
Well,
there's a huge difference.
There's such a big difference in
I mean-
recording something that is in a confined space,
That's
like an
true.
arena, versus literally in the woods.
They're live. They're live.
That's the hard part. Is
the woods is the probably the better the course, the worse the reception.
Well, yeah,
I mean, and
the
because
more
these
beautiful and more secluded. Yeah, 100%.
because we're not talking about courses that are right next to a major city. They're more than likely off the beaten path of a small town, and that's kind of a nuance of disc golf, I think. But in order to get around that, yeah, you have to get that big truck coverage. I just remember the movie Ed TV and the fall down
I
around.
love that movie.
God, I do too. I love Matthew McConaughey. If y'all don't know,
Let me
Matthew
ask you
McConaughey
this:
and Ed Harris
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
Or not Ed-
do you think disc golf is the hardest sport to cover? To film, I should say.
Yes.
I don't know if there's another one that's got to be more difficult. Maybe golf. Golf's got to be
well,
somewhat difficult.
the thing is now they have the golf definitely has something tracking it because it tells you the apex and the speed and everything.
That stuff is so cool. I can't
Um,
wait till we get there with
so
disc golf,
we're
by
not
the
there
way.
yet with that. I mean the what was that app that everybody
Ace Trace.
Ace
Ace
Trace?
Trace,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a cool little app. I enjoyed.
They were doing
messing-
that for a little while, weren't they?
Us?
Not you guys, maybe. Maybe Joe Mez.
Joe Mez
Joe Mez
does
can
it.
do it post-produced because
Right.
that's 10,000 times easier.
So hockey was the one growing up where Fox got it and they put a little golden hue around the hockey puck so you could see it on the but
But still, that's such a confined space.
right.
Like
So
you can just surround it with cameras.
so like they've been showing the Philotros. It is the greatest shot in disc golf.
It was pretty sweet.
You think it's even? Oh, that's another topic. You think that's better than the Holy Shot?
I mean, I
With
forgot
everything on the line.
You're right. No.
Remember, I
no,
said tangents, folks.
no. I'm sorry.
We're on
I
them.
No, it's fine.
forgot.
Keep it going.
I,
Keep it rolling.
no,
I like it.
I forgot what they said because they showed it again. But if I didn't know any better, I'd almost thought it was fake because because like you were talking about, it's hard to follow that disc because
Yeah.
it cuts off and then it cuts back on when it's coming around the tree and goes in, and you're just like, oh, that's the. But
But when you're a disc golfer that knows that flight of that disc, knowing that he threw something overstable and put an ante on it, and the way that thing tracked through that little, I don't even know what to call that, just little narrow fairway.
yeah, I mean, it had those trees and it just did that nice super sexy flexy X.
Well, I
there.
think also
There's-
as
quarter
we
shot.
progress, and especially as the people that are in our production room get better and get more acclimated, I can already tell, like, from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, we got so much better at the timing of switching the angle. Because
Okay.
I've heard people talk about, keeping one angle the whole time so you can see the flight. In an ideal situation, I think that probably is the best.
Maybe split screen it or give somebody the option, like, just like, okay, you want to watch catch cam? Here you go. You want to watch
It's just a timing thing.
and the other thing there too is retaining those people and having them jump back in at that point and progressing forward, not using the first 8 events to maybe catch up to what they were doing last year, because now you're already behind a little bit. So because like you said, you've progressed at the end of the year. You want to take whatever you progressed at and start the
Sure.
next year with
Yes.
that and move forward. That's what I was getting at. And the only way to do that is retaining kind of the same people. Have that. I'm assuming there's a producer, right? Somebody who's sitting
Yeah,
there
we have
saying
a whole
switch
control
and
room. Yeah.
okay, so because they're the real money makers, right? Those are the people.
Oh, they're running the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, just
Ed TV,
produce-
man.
They're the maestros.
that was
They're telling
Ellen.
cameras where to go, everything.
Ellen was the producer on that one, but switch, or ask them this. I do want to see more interviews as they're walking up to a hole. I still think that I knew they were doing that this year, and because I love Proctor. I think they're interviewing James Proctor walking up a hole, and I'm not sure every player wants to give just like coaches when they're coming off the field.
Well,
after,
those are all talked about beforehand. Like those, like
It's all scripted.
it's not scripted, but it's like before they tee off, it's like, hey, can we have an interview walking down the hole of one's fairway? But then also sometimes it's like a player says that right before the round, and they say yeah, and then they throw the worst shot imaginable, and now they're pissed off. And
that's
then
when
they're like,
I-
no, I don't want to do an interview. And
That's when I
perfectly
want-
within their right.
That's when I want them to talk. That's when they probably need to say something. I mean, I would love to hear somebody just go, yeah, that was an effing trash shot. I mean, I don't know if there's a delay.
Maybe not quite like that.
No,
You
I
guys-
mean,
you guys
He
can
could
bleep
probably do it
that
a
out,
little bit
right?
more eloquently than that.
well, if there's
I've thrown better.
if there's I'd be like, what do you think? Did you see it? I mean, did anybody else see it? That was trash.
As long as you say champ afterwards, I think it's
Champ.
allowed.
Yeah. Then you're good.
Yeah, champ.
Good job.
Hey,
was
good throw,
effing
champ.
trash,
It was a
champ.
trash shot, but you still the champ.
So
Champ.
that's kind of what we're talking about here. The
Well,
disc golf production moving
There's just
forward.
so many different variables, and we're all trying to have a rising tide. And it's just sometimes when you focus on other things, the things that you aren't focusing on, similar to you can relate to your disc golf game. I think I got putting down. Okay, I'm going to go practice my upshots or my driving. Then guess what? You neglect your putting, and now that's kind of trash when you come back to it. So it's a fine balance and a give and take on trying to make sure everything is constantly getting better while also putting Band-Aids on the things that are seeping blood.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's any corporation's mantra. Everyone I've ever worked for, that's exactly what it is. You fix the things you need to fix, and then typically you fall to the wayside on the things you were doing right, and people don't understand why, because now I focus all the energy over here. But if you have good processes in place, it shouldn't matter. But that's another whole topic.
I totally get all that because that's been my game the past 3 months. So
It is. It in mine right now is upshots. So therefore I have to really hit some bangers of putts. Or
Bangers.
It's just not
he's a banger.
bang
Bang
bang.
on banger, baby.
Bang bang.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't know if I did the bang or bang on. Oh, and I don't know if we're doing. I'll see. We'll glow this weekend or Wednesday. It's gonna be chilly.
So yeah, tell me about Glow. I've not played one.
Man,
I know Mike has because he's won every one but
No,
one.
I lost the last
Yeah,
one.
I
good
know. I
job,
didn't wanna- I didn't
Duncan.
wanna say
Duncan
that,
Howard,
but-
and I'm happy that D'Angelo's
I was
back too.
dethroned.
Yeah, man, I made sure everybody knew that. I think I said something. And
You saw me around.
I did. Mike had a tough round.
It's not great.
So y'all played 18 holes on the last
We
one.
Yeah,
played
which
the
was
full
fun.
18, and it was 75 degrees, and it felt great. And I'm really surprised there's just not more people coming out.
Ah man,
I think we've been saying that for a while, to be honest.
Yeah, and
It is weird.
it's gonna warm back up. It's not gonna be that bad. Well, actually, I think Wednesday night.
Yeah,
But-
no, high of
Wednesday's not gonna be
high of
warm.
50 or something on Wednesday.
But
I'm
you,
like,
like the last week, you could have not have asked for better weather. It
and
was
and the moon was out,
perfect.
and
You guys almost had the hunter's moon, so that's
it's
Dope.
super dope out there. Plus, most of the back nine, I'm not saying most of some of the back nines lit up because we get done when the softball people get done. It's kind of funny, man. I say it every week. Those girls, dude, that girl was chunking last week, man. Watching her pitch, god dang, man, they can't be no more than 12 years. They're very young, and it's just impressive how it just shows how big of a sport softball is in Arkansas because they take it very seriously. And somehow, I just still, why is disc golf not a sport in schools, high school? Why? Why?
to be honest, they're gonna have to travel.
Why? Well,
So-
big deal.
I mean, at least inner city.
I mean, not every
That's my
not-
area.
not every school gets to field a team. I mean, that's just part of it, right? There's nothing that says, and I mean, not every school has a bass. I mean, Central don't have a bass fishing team.
Yeah, they probably do.
Well, I mean, I probably do because there's some pampered white kids that get sent there because they just funny sometimes. I know some people that send their kids to Central. I'm just like, I know why you're doing it. I know.
Another topic for
Yeah.
another day.
I lived over there. I love Central. It's a beautiful school. It's a very historic area, man.
I completely agree. Yeah.
I always took that when I drove by it. The gas station that they've left in the same condition.
Yeah, it is now a part of the history of that, and it's part of the it's a museum around there.
Yeah, the
So-
Little Rock 5,
Yes, Little Rock
7.
5,
6,
9.
9. Shit. Anyway,
You're from Texas. Okay, well, you're born here.
no, hell no, I wasn't. I was born in Pennsylvania, baby. PA for life with this dude.
I wasn't born there, but
You
I
technically
might as well
you
be.
might as well been. His family's
Yeah, my mother was born and raised there.
his house has got Steelers stuff in it that's
I don't want to talk about the
got
Steelers. That's
trashed
really-
up today by Jacksonville on their home field.
Yeah,
And
it's not good.
the North is just as rednecky as the South. They
You're
just
right,
they
you're right.
just
It's
have a different
kind,
accent.
Yeah.
It's
I was
a-
just having a conversation today with a friend that's tired of all the hateful banter in the state, and it's like you're going to get that anywhere. You just notice it more here because you were born and raised here.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
shit.
Dan Harp.
And I was in his spot.
Sup?
Dan, I'm so sorry.
Dan's
No, how
spy, he
dare
just-
you?
We're gonna have to. It's what is it? JMO's in the know with JMO or whatever.
What to know with JMO.
Yeah, so we need to. Some with Dan. Dan's. I'll figure that.
You can
shit.
rhyme a lot of words with Dan,
Yeah.
to be fair.
Tons.
Yeah, we're doing it. You can come sit down if you want. Come sit by us. All right.
We can hook up another mic.
Yep. So, but anyways. Oh, I was talking about Central. Beautiful area. And it is on the National Historical thing too. It's pretty cool down there.
Central could pull off having a disc golf team. It just takes they have so many extracurricular activities going on at Central. I deal with quite a few of them, actually. There's a beekeeping group there.
They have an apiary there.
They don't on site, but they will
Okay.
go off site. There's so many kids
I
at Central.
learned-
It's probably bad to have a bunch of beehives around.
I learned that word because of this restaurant. They're not in the Hill Country. It was an apiary and restaurant, farm to table. I was like, dang, that's pretty cool. We got some bees right over there.
I used to be an apist. I had to stop. I was only stating a fact, though.
God bless America.
God bless
Uh-huh.
America.
All right.
Land that. All right.
This was good.
So what we
Good-
got?
Great banter. Okay, we got a lot of tournaments coming up this weekend. So you have to choose, man. And
Where
it
do
looks
you
like the
go?
weather's going to be good
Looks
Hopefully.
actually
It's
amazing
going to be a little cold.
in the
in the morning, but I
In
think
the
in
morning,
the
yeah.
afternoon it's heating up to 70s, which 50 and 70 is good. Let's see here. I personally will be taking care of Legends of Hip Hop on Saturday and Air Supply on Sunday. I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you.
No, you're right. Believing for
So long. That's a great song. I can't wait to. I actually will. I used to play that record a lot as a kid, and I will listen to them sing that. But it's kind of funny because Legends of Hip Hop is like Juvenile and Goody Mob and 8 Ball and
Back that thing up as a legend of hip hop.
dude, yeah, he's legend now. And DJ Quick, who has taught me the birds and the bees, one of the guys that taught me the birds and the bees as a young man. So I'm anxious, and then like you got to get that stink of the weed out of there for air supply the next morning. So that ought to be fun.
I don't think they would like that. Mike, where are you playing this weekend?
I am playing in Jonesboro.
So
That is the natural. What is it?
Natural State Championship. I got to defend my title.
Okay. How many? Last year was the first of it, right? The first year.
I believe.
Yeah, this is
so.
the second annual, so I would assume.
Oh, that's
that-
even more pressure. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean 2 times. That sounds good.
Undefeated.
Let's take a look. 43 people signed up.
I'm
40.
not even signed up for it yet.
Okay, Mike's not even signed up.
But it's going to be super exciting.
Hey,
It's one of
there's-
the only chances you really get to play a tournament on a Pro Tour level course. It's the only one in Arkansas. This is the only reason I played it last year. B, this side of heaven, I've never had more fun getting my butt kicked than I have on that course. It is so fun. 3, they're also supposed to be, and we're kind of the guinea pigs for it, they're also putting in like OB, harder OB, tighter OB on the course, which will hopefully give this side a little bit more teeth. Because as we all know, the pros absolutely filleted that course this year. And then we also get to play a brand new wooded course, which I saw the name of it earlier, but I don't remember the exact name that Eli said. But it's supposed to be incredibly hard.
I've heard the same. And Eli's been putting a ton of work into that.
Ton of work.
And all of the folks up in Jonesboro. Good for them. I'm trying to find the name of it right now, too, because I saw it recently.
I think it's something Oaks. It starts with a T, but I don't remember the name of it.
Tuberculosis?
Probably not.
No. Okay.
If I had to take a guess.
Definitely not.
Says right here, tuberculosis. You guys are wrong.
Let's see. Okay, it just says 1 round from newly designed championship woods
Maybe
course.
don't have a name yet.
No, I saw a map earlier.
So Beatrice Park is what the old
Yes.
Yeah.
course is, which I'm glad they kept that around.
Towering Oaks, that's the name of it.
Ooh,
Towering Oaks.
Which sounds intimidating as hell.
that sounds like Eagle can't even throw over those.
Have you seen the movie
Probably not. You probably can.
Yeah, he's
Yumi and Dupree?
just get the hell out of the way. Have I seen that? Yeah, I've seen that movie.
That sounds like one of the neighborhood he was designing.
Oh.
Michael Douglas shooting him down. Will you change your last name? Hyphenate it?
It was a good movie.
That was a good movie.
So, and you're playing MPO.
Yeah, I don't know if I was kind of stuck between MA1 or MPO. I was going to wait to see.
All two people sign up in MA1,
that's
bro.
the other thing is depends on the field.
Please sign
But
up
then
for that.
also,
so I can make fun of
I
you.
think Eli said if there's at least 12 MPO, which you would imagine there would be, you would hope. God, if there's not, we've got a serious problem.
There's 10. There's 11 right now. 11.
Well, I'll
or
be
10.
12 then.
10. There's 10. 11
You'll be
makes
11,
a girl.
Okay, so we need one more.
And then I might
which-
make 12 just to help you out.
I may sign up and not show up.
Well, the
but
beauty
that'd
beauty is if you get 12 and you win, you automatically get a spot into JBO in 2024. Which is
Okay.
kind of like too good of an opportunity to not pass up.
Yeah, that was a recent announcement.
be- All right, so we still got to talk about the other ones, PR, the all that kind of stuff.
But real quick, the return of the Dan.
Dun dun dun.
What's up?
The second,
He'll be on a lot more if we do it over here.
Yeah,
the
can't
second,
escape it now.
yeah.
We don't
He
want
He
to.
can't use not coming to my house
That's
as an
cool, though.
excuse. Dan's episode is 79 plays.
He's just comparing everyone's work by how many
Our
views
our
you
first episode is 92 plays.
And that was a decent sounding podcast
Yeah.
because we did the Yeti, right? And the,
Yeah,
no.
the one I came on, us three at your place, Chris. We
Yeah.
were kind of a shared mic situation. There was some echo. Chris was beatboxing on the table every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
and-
I forgot about
Which
it. Yeah,
Chris?
Me.
yeah,
okay,
well, sorry.
yeah, I don't really beatbox.
No, you do pen clickies and
Foot rattles.
foot rattles, and yeah.
Oh, I'm a foot
It-
rattler too.
Ball scratches.
Mike, you're soaking it up with Mike's only 53 plays, dude.
Oh, Dan's still winning.
Yeah.
Boom.
So-
Rookie numbers.
Ooh, he's not
Pump those
worthy.
Actually, I think for the amount of time it's been up compared to yours, it's probably better.
Yeah, we're not going to get into those.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's not the analytics
That's
we're
not
talking
what
about.
matters.
We're just looking at the number right now.
Just
so-
raw data.
I'll peel that onion back and break it down. So, but thanks, Dan, for joining us and letting us do it over here, even though I live here.
Sick
But thanks.
surprise. Got off work early.
Yeah, 7:30. I looked at the time because Wyman's like, "Let me know he's gonna come so I can go move my car or whatever." I was just like, "It's okay, man."
I'm a courteous
He
guy.
was being very. He's like, JMO doesn't eat food until everybody gets their food, and then
is
like
true.
I just ordered 15 minutes ahead, behind you, dude. Eat your food. It's
Jim
gonna
was
be
courteous
yeah.
like that. No, I saw the cars in the driveway. I was like, I see what's happening here. This
There
is
you-
cool. Let's
It's
go.
time to pod.
Let's go.
I was gonna go somewhere with that, but I'm not going to.
That's
I
good.
knew where you were going.
You have no idea.
So
Dan, your house is awesome, by the way.
Thanks, dude.
so natural state
Open
open. Eli's running that. It's a 2-day or 1 day.
2.
2 day.
2-day.
2-round 2-day.
2-round
Tee
2-day.
times.
Okay, so tea times. That's always fun. The weather's gonna be nice, or at least I mean, as long as you get off in the afternoon.
Well, that'll be the beauty for me, especially playing MPO. I'll
Yeah.
probably have a later tea time.
It's typically the way it works.
You'll be
Yeah.
playing in the best weather for sure.
So what would y'all rather do? I always thought it was weird that you put out like all the lower brackets, and they're the ones who essentially set the pace, right? Like the MA50 women set the pace. If there's 4 of them, they're putting them out there first, especially on tea times. I'm like, I would much rather play in front of them. I would rather the MPOs set the pace, but that's just me.
If it means I have to go out in the freezing cold, probably I'm okay,
Okay.
with going out
Yeah,
later.
you got to think like based on the time of year and the temperature difference from 8 a.m. to noon or 1 to 2 p.m. Rather be later. I mean, there's advantages and disadvantages to both based on season, for sure. And you get the dumb luck of the weather, right? It could be raining in the
Yes.
morning, midday, afternoon. The wind picks up or it dies down.
Yep.
What?
I don't know how much of an advantage you could really predetermine.
How do they do that there are some tournaments where the men's do go out early in the morning. They're the first up, and the women's didn't play in the afternoon. Is there just a few tournaments that are like that, or?
Did I say that one more time? I missed it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Whatever that was
was
way
looking
more
at weather.
important.
It was a Bumble thing.
Oh my
No, it
God!
was
Seriously?
actually-
I
it
mean,
was-
we're looking at Bumble right now. We're
It was
doing
the
this.
weather for next weekend. This is a great weather app. It's pretty accurate.
I was just about to destroy everything we had right here. Anyways,
I just got these mics.
Ask
Uh,
you the question.
the women, yeah, right. So the women typically start the round before the men, right? They always go out in the morning, but there
Yes.
are some tournaments where they
Not
Go-
this year.
go.
Not that I know.
Oh,
of.
really? There was a couple I thought where
I think the way they have done it recently, at least the last 2 years, is mainly for broadcast. Because typically the afternoon is probably going to be a more watchable time for most people instead of super early in the morning. It used to all be conjoined, where it was all one big broadcast, and so you'd have MPO and FPO off at the same time. And you'd be switching back and forth in the broadcast.
really.
Yeah.
Hmm.
If you go back to 2021, I believe that's how it was in some tournaments. And then we switched to FPO and MPO.
And they're even doing the things in between the Tournament Central.
Tournament Central, yeah. You want to talk about improvement from the year in the beginning to the
Big
end.
time.
Oh my
Whew.
goodness.
I know we were talking about it before, but I do think you get the value of, and we quit talking about this tournament every time we get somewhere else, but I do think you get good value for what, $15 a month. I mean, if you like disc golf, do
Where
you
else
know
are you going to watch live disc golf? You're not.
of post coverage?
Well, it's not
I
live, that's
can't
my
do it.
point.
I can't do it, man. Every time I know the score
Well,
of something, I can't watch it. I already know.
The
Like,
thing, especially like that this year has proven, is that live disc golf really is the best way to consume it. At least in my opinion. Obviously, I'm very biased because I work for the company that puts it on.
Well, I agree. So.
But with how many chase card winners there's been, and with how many different people are in it on the final day, if you're watching Jomez, a great example is Matty Oat MVP this year. That lead card had zero chance to win.
Zero. I mean,
By hole 14, they already knew Matty O was going to win.
I never seen because I turned on around there and they're like already announcing him as a winner.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, the lead card's still out
They
there.
had
And
no chance.
I didn't realize that, man. I was like, that's pretty impressive.
So that's a great example. Is just like and you're watching that on Jomez, you're like, okay, good for Matty O. I'm glad I saw none of it.
The Jomez is. I think we talked about it before. I just hate how they act surprised. And some things like they know there's a hole in
That
one,
is a
and
hard- man.
that
I
is.
imagine they kind of have to in some regard, but do they really?
Well, that's
I don't know.
another fine line of like authenticity and also like you're there, you're watching it happen. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You could say I heard about this shot. Oh, that shot's everything I heard of. There's probably different ways you can express it, but
It's
when
mentioned.
they say, "Oh my God, he hit a hole in one," well, no joke, dude, you knew that. We saw you jumping up and down with him in the celebration
You
at
were
the
there.
hole.
I've seen a few in post production where, whether it's like Coling or one of the guys on Jomez, very few times they've said, "I actually don't know. I finished my round early because they weren't even close to the same timeline. I went to the bus or the van or whatever, and I just hung." I've heard them specify that very few times, so I'm pretty sure an prize.
And you can kind of tell they
Yeah.
they ham it up a little bit.
I
You're
don't
like,
think it matters for those that really like the post production because, like y'all mentioned, when I first started watching disc golf, I never watched live.
Right.
Always Jomez,
Same.
Gatekeeper,
Likewise.
Central Coast, K-Pro. It was
Yep.
like whatever I can just go back and watch. I like the follow flights and
Yep.
that stuff. Like there's benefit there. But as I got more invested into it, got Disc Golf Network, watching it live.
Yep.
I'm following all these pages on Instagram. I'm seeing the score. I'm seeing the champion before any post production is close to finished.
Right.
It does spoil it. And at this point in my golf journey, I guess, man, I'm only watching post production if someone has like a lightning, or if I see something cool or fun that happened, or if I just worse.
Yep.
I'm not seeking it out otherwise. Try to find time to. So I think it's an curve based on experience.
that's a
The further
natural
into it you
pipeline.
get,
Yeah.
the further into it you get, you're going to watch it live. You're going to be more invested. You're going to pick and
And I completely agree, Dan. And that's exactly how I've come into watching disc golf. I mean, watched the hell out of all the post production that was available. And this was when I got back into disc golf at 33, so that was 5 years ago, a little more than 5. And but now
You're not 40.
I want 33.
I thought you said 35. Sorry.
33.
I was like 35, man. You're not 40. Okay.
Not yet, not
Well.
yet. But I can't wait to get there so
No,
that I can
don't
play
I mean,
against
don't,
you.
Yeah, no, I'll be at 50. I'll be playing.
I'll get you down. Come on back down to 40.
Yeah, 40's tough.
But as far as the live coverage goes, that's what I want to put on my TV. I want to be doing whatever else I need to do around the house and have that on in the background.
Yep.
Be able to, and if I can sit and watch it the whole time, wonderful. So, and the production's gotten so much better. So,
me when it clicked. I was lucky enough to gotten into live coverage, see the shot.
Me too. That was my
From
first
James
event.
Conrad.
Yeah, that was my first event I ever watched
And
live.
I distinctly
No
remember
kidding.
it.
Yep.
I was renting a house just a few blocks up the street with a buddy, and I was home. I had it on. I knew it was final round, and anyone else that watched that live, whether
Hooked.
it be coverage or person, which was, oh yeah, you got to be hooked.
Yeah.
How can you miss that? Next
Right.
shot.
and then hear about it, and if you're not the live guy, and then you hear about just how great the shot was, and then you go watch it. It's not as man
It's different.
that shot gave me
Yeah.
goosebumps.
Uh-huh.
That was that is the best shot in disc golf. I know they say something about the philo, I forget, but that is by far. I mean, James Conrad don't have to do anything ever again. That shot.
It was a built-in sales pitch for live coverage.
I mean, for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%.
Way to put it.
And then we'll use that probably till the wheels
Oh,
fall
yeah,
off.
as they should.
And another thing that's very interesting on the topic of that shot is I've talked about this in passing with people is I can't confirm. No, I do not know, but the ripple effect of the holy shot within the company of MVP is an interesting one to think about. I bet they don't sign Simon if James doesn't hit
Yeah,
that
no,
shot.
no way. That allowed it for sure, man. Everybody went out and bought that disc. I mean, I
remembered
don't know
everyone,
how many
yeah.
of the PFARs had them, dude. They are all throwing them. You still throw one, don't you? What is that disc?
I ace all the
Envy.
time with mine.
Yeah, Envy.
Well, people
He does
barely
a
knew
hole
about
one,
NC2.
fucking hole one.
Look out, baby Hindman.
Baby Hindman, which is a nice ace. I mean, it's not a gimme, but
Hey, those are some badass holes.
but the Envy definitely, man. MVP was so. A lot of people like the way the plastic feels and stuff.
They just put them on the map as a whole.
For sure, man. And they make a lot of discs for people, dude. They're like the
Yeah.
tolling company because they do it for Mint. They do it for
Streamline.
who's the one?
They have overmolds and they have just the
Thought
But they
Space.
also can do
Thought
that
Space,
now
yeah,
because of that shot, because of how much they had to ramp up their production and how many
Oh, yeah.
molding machines they had to buy for that was unbelievable.
They didn't run out of James Conner.
So
Envy's after.
do you know
Never.
do you know anything about the production process? I mean, we've talked to Tanner.
Vaguely.
Okay, yeah. So you're probably about as much information as Tanner is. But we have a good time with Tanner when he tells us the information. But
I know a little bit.
But right. But I'm just trying to think how many because you have those injection molding machines, right? And if they only have 2 of them, how long does it take to make one disc and turn
That's
it?
a great question.
Wait, they're not 3D printed.
Some are. Yeah.
I don't think those are legal.
So the overmold process takes a little longer. And I couldn't tell you why. I just heard that was the true part of it. It's because the mold itself has an overlay on
More pieces.
Yeah, it's more
pieces.
pieces.
It's an extra step.
Exactly. And if you're doing, a mold itself costs a steel mold. Aluminum's much cheaper. A steel one, you're looking at $20,000. For your design.
Okay, that's what the dynamic things I see. Is that what no, not the mold. That's the
Some of the Supreme plastic?
no. They sell the metal. I think it's the stamp though. I don't think it's the mold
Like
plastic.
a hot stamp.
Yeah.
They sell the thing you etch out metal. Anyways, I'll budget.
Well, so a good plastic injection molding machine like what they have down in Lone Star or what they have in MVP, you're looking at $300,000 to $500,000.
That's nuts.
But yeah, and coming from a company that's when you bought something, you were spending like $500,000. You're doing it because you know you're going to make that money. Dude,
you're hoping.
Lone Stars, they're backers, and then everybody in Texas loves Lone Star discs. So I mean, it's just like they're printing money every time they.
Lone Star is also different because they have another business that's kind of parallel.
They're in
to
the oil
molding?
business.
They're in the oil.
Gotcha.
Source. They got-
Okay.
they got-
So it's kind of like an easier transition than most other
I'm
companies.
sure there's some
Yeah.
petroleum in our.
Dude,
Maybe that's why they glow so well, right?
that's what I was gonna say. I only started throwing Lone Star because of Tanner running those minis, and I've got a dozen of his discs from those, and I got all glow ones every time because my glow bag's all Lone Star.
And they do. Dude, Dan's that glow is like just. And Mike puts like one little tiny strip on his black disc, and he's like, "I can't see it. I don't know why." I'm like, "Gee,
Yeah, Discraft glows.
can't find it."
Does not glow.
It's awful.
It in Innova, man. I don't know why. Maybe they just don't want to put the extra money into.
You had some that would glow, and then by the time you would throw and find them, they would be gone.
You better go get them quick.
I've
Yeah.
said this before. The Innova DX glow is better than
You have
as far as how
You better put that mic to your mouth better.
Innova DX glows.
There
better
you
than
go.
Jamie Glow.
I've been watching the
Sorry, I
monitor.
took it off my chin. I was saying how much I know how to talk into a mic on my chin, and then I held it
Psych!
short.
And then you do me like, oh man, yeah. Then there's Why'd I sound so shitty that time? I don't know. Anyways,
All right.
What's next, Wyman? You got the list.
glow.
Oh man, well we talked about glow, so you might do that.
What else is good
next
glow
week,
plastic? Oh, the Castaplast.
Anything
is
made
good
by
glow.
MVP is good glow.
Cast-
pattern.
MVP
Casta,
is
yeah,
so
Casta
cool.
MVP are great.
Oh yeah, your
Yeah,
Lizados look
that
good.
new the Halloween Lizado I
Yeah.
got with like the blue inner glow and then the outer white
Yeah, that's
glow
pretty
is
cool.
so cool.
I got a cool Mamba that looked like it should have glowed, but it didn't.
Mm,
At
yeah.
all.
There's why is that yellow in the middle of that Mamba not glowing? I don't know. That's just because it's just a powder, right? Just got to add some more some powder into it. I believe is
No
what
idea.
I believe that's all it is.
It is a. It's. I guess it can come micronized, but it's also a liquid that they can put into the injection molder hopper.
Okay, because I knew when making minis or doing the little mini casting the minis that you could get like the glow.
Glow powder.
Yeah, glow powder.
You can
and then
snort
mix
it.
Yeah,
and you
man.
can
Man.
Mix it in your
And
drink.
you put it in your black light up your nose, like, oh my God, that guy's been doing some glow powder.
So, we were talking about tournaments for the weekend, and there's a bunch this weekend. So, there's actually one out of state that's a favorite of mine that I won't be going to. I'm not really doing competitive much. I don't think I'm the only one here. But, and there's good reason for that. I don't need to do that right now because I am not competitive. But Lake Claiborne's going on down in Homer, Louisiana. Great course. Would love to go down and play it. It will probably rain down there.
Man, it's so great, y'all. If you haven't gone down there, go down there, play it. Play both Whitetail and Buck or whatever the hell the other name is, or what are the two names of them?
God, I can't remember now.
played down there,
Just
Mike?
made me-
I haven't.
I haven't either. I know y'all.
Yeah, we took a trip last year and we were all signed up, and then we saw this storm coming in, and thank God we did because we were gonna camp out. And that Friday night, we probably would have died, I think, by what people do. And then it was beautiful weather after that. But that Friday night, they said it was really bad as far as wind and da-da-da. And we were going to,
It was rough.
yeah.
And for those of you that don't know, that northern part of Louisiana where Homer is actually the tail end of the Ouachita. So it looks very much like the Ouachita Valley here in Arkansas.
Yeah, it's. I was thinking I was going to play in the swamp and bald cypresses and mossy things hanging out everywhere. No, it's very Arkansas-y, or how you want to put it. It's very
Resi.
It's very resi, but like bigger.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Also going on that weekend, Dark Side of the Disc is going on in Fayetteville. That's a popular event.
Is it?
It is, yeah. So I would imagine that they might do pretty well. filling
I'm
that up.
looking, but I think Lee Knock wins that weekend too.
Oh, over in Memphis
Yeah.
at Bud Hills.
But
So
Lee-
much going on.
God,
Man,
there's a
it's
lot,
the
yeah.
last. It's the last because then next weekend after that is NWA's A tier, and it's usually bitter freezing cold.
I'll play that one.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Are you gonna go?
I'll go if you go.
All right. You gonna go, Dan?
Oh,
Come on, let's go. Let's go
No.
party in
Yeah.
Fayetteville.
Is it a 2-day?
It is it's a. Oh, yep. I think
3-day?
it might be a 3-day.
Lee Knock win is that day too.
I'm the other guy Wyman was mentioning as far as people in this room not playing second events for a while.
Come on,
But I
man.
love the reasoning. It's logical and actually inspired me to be like, what the hell am I doing? So,
Well,
Get your rating low enough to play MA3, y'all. Come on,
that,
what are you
that
waiting
has already
on?
happened for me. But
I'm on the way.
I bought a new car and a house this year, so the expenses there. I played most of last year injured, semi-injured, and 4 courses that I didn't cherry pick. I really played because of the camaraderie and fun, community, and I wanted to play and do it. Probably wouldn't benefit my rating or score. So yeah, my rating has dropped about 40 points in the last 12 months. Does it sting? Yeah, it sucks, but I understand the reality of it. Didn't play great, all things considered. I'm not too hurt about it. I still get to go have fun and play Glow when we have it.
You
to play with my
you
homies.
get upset at Glow too.
I still do, yeah, of course, because I'm one of
He's a competitor.
Because
I don't
I
wanna-
tied him on some big banger putts and he had to hit.
Yeah, Chris hit like 4 50-footers and I'm dinking 15ers. You know, it's excellent.
I'm just like, it's what I do. It's what I do.
Yeah, I don't mind losing to anybody. I just don't like not meeting my expectations. So that is where most of my frustration comes from. Yeah, I'm gonna take a little time off. Get some putting practice once we get some baskets in this garage.
Yeah,
and
man.
Come back a better, stronger version of my.
Putting is where it's at, man. If you get that going, if you know your upshot's wasn't that good, and you can hit a 40, 30, 30 to 40.
100%.
I mean, dude, and it's so, and then you go up to a T-bug, next T-bug's like, yeah, but man, if you miss that putt, you're like, fudge, man, just like a 4 there.
Oh yeah.
I dinked the putt, I hit the basket, because I know that's, Dan and I hit a lot of baskets, and because there's nothing worse than just shorting it, man. I'd rather just whiff it. I hate hitting. I mean, I would.
Yeah, the putting is. I can throw further now after the than I have ever before. I haven't put the time in practice. Probably got and that got to putt, man.
You do.
It's a great equalizer.
It definitely helps for sure.
That's how I compete in MA1,
Yeah.
putting, because it's not distance. So
Mike surprisingly putt soft. I would figure you'd been a zip putter, but you putt pretty soft.
I've always putted soft, to be
Yeah.
honest. That comes from in the beginning of learning. I was so afraid of having to even make a comeback. I was more
Same way.
afraid of missing than I was of trying to make
I
it.
was the same way, and if it wasn't for Duncan and John watching those guys zip by it and then making that 28. I mean, dude, you go from a 35 footer to a 28 footer, and I didn't like that. But man, once you hit those comebackers, then yeah, you can hit those. Then you hit I'm about hitting that first one. Then, but yeah, well,
there's a lot to be said about hitting that first long putt.
Well, on the note of putting, and to plug something else that's awesome in the community,
All right.
putting league.
oh, I was gonna bring that up.
Putting league's happening. It's coming back. Was it John Anderson's?
John-
At,
I'm glad you
Stone's
brought
Throw?
that up, Dan.
Good job. Yeah, John Anderson is running a stone throw. Tomorrow night's the first night. You may see this, which would be Monday night or Sunday. Yeah, so Monday night. I'll get this out. So tomorrow.
At Stone Links, or not Stone Links, Stone's Throw Brewery. God,
I mean, Wyman's going to be at Stone Links doing a putting, a glow putting league.
I will do that by myself. That's fine.
But that's how you get reps in. I mean,
Let's see if he's doing it like we did it. It was what you got 5, 10. You did 20, 40. You got 40 putts a night hanging out with somebody.
Plus all the putts that you're practicing before you
15, 25, 35 footers, and then there was like some sort of random something. So you got it's 40 putts. You get to hang out with people. John ran a dry run. He told me it went well.
supporting local business.
Supporting a local business. Take some ones with you. More than likely going to be some homeless people down there. So throw them $1 or $2. Say what up. Give them a disc for the homeless. There's a new campaign.
Buy them a beer.
They don't drink beer. They're using it for food. But anyways, Stone Throw is a great. John knows the people there. The managers or whatever. So
Ian Beard is the owner.
Ian Beard.
Yep. He's a big dude.
Is he?
Super nice guy.
Has he got a big beard and tattoos?
He used to, but not anymore. He actually has a shaved face, but he
But
did
he
have
has
a
tattoos.
Viking resemblance back in the day.
Okay. He sounds like. I mean, dude sounds like a Viking. I've been in there a few times.
Where is that going to be exactly?
Stone's Throw.
Oh, I mean, where? Haha. Where exactly on the property? It's not a very big piece of property.
It's not. They're shutting down the road like they do for the Halloween Fest.
It's going to be like Wayne's World?
Yeah. No. I think.
You know, game off, game on.
Game. Yeah. We used to do a lot as a kid. I think the way it looked was out on the side. He tells me that the back property has enough light, and I guess there's a backside or an outdoor seating area.
Yes.
I think that's where it's going to be.
Okay. I was just curious, just because I know the area.
You know how you can find out? You go.
Oh, that's it. I think I might. So thanks for bringing that up, Dan.
Because I'll be there.
You excited about it?
Yeah, I like putting league. I'll support John, even though I told him the other day if he wanted, this was before Glow, I go, if you want people to come out to your events, I suggest you go out to their events. And I do believe in that. I do believe in you have to sell your event, go to other events and let people see your face. I don't want to be popular, but there's a reason why I go to a lot of events. I enjoy something like that. I'm glad somebody else is doing it. It makes me happy, but it makes me want to run one at Flyway or something like that.
Yeah, you want to try to do it better, don't you?
Putting league's
Putting
great.
It is. I had a great time. It was a fun time out at the rail yard,
It's
man.
fun. It's going to make your game better.
You
It's
ever do a
not-
putting league?
Never.
So,
Oh,
man, we're
man.
getting a lot of firsts
First,
for you,
yeah.
man. Who knew?
Glow.
First glow round this year.
Actually, let's not invite Mike. I like having a chance to win something.
I do too.
Well,
It's
Mike-
actually
Mike-
on, Tues-
Putting
it's actually
is
on
the worst
Tuesdays.
part of my game
It's on
right
Tuesdays,
now,
Mike.
so-
oh yeah, it's on Tuesday.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tuesdays I'll show.
Yeah.
Hey.
They're actually, it's been moved to a warmer
That's Stone
night.
Links, right?
Yes,
Stone Links,
Stone
yes.
Links
Tuesdays,
Tuesdays.
Stone Links.
They're gonna use that little clubhouse. Wyman's rent that every time for $150 or whatever they charge.
Right.
But we were talking about tournaments because I looked. Man, there's 121 people already signed up for the A tier, the Northwest Arkansas.
And there are some notables in there.
Yeah, I didn't even look at those.
Cat Merch is playing FPO.
Yeah. Bill Freeman's in there.
Joel Freeman.
Joel
every
usually
year.
plays, right? He usually plays that one.
Mike's never played those courses.
Never.
I've never
I
played.
really haven't traveled a whole lot of places.
Well,
to
that's
play.
going to change next year. I'll tell you that.
That is going to
I'm
change.
all
'Cause I'd love to
definitely
travel.
open for it.
Because if we're going to be regional, we have to travel regional.
Like
so
if it wasn't for my
I'm just going to coattail your
job, I would have
playing.
never played outside of the state, to be honest.
Did y'all mention yet Persimmons third annual Fallback Classic?
No, we were talking about the natural state, and then we talked about
Lake
let's skip that.
Claiborne.
Oh, Lake Claiborne. That's right. So you have Jonesboro Natural State. You have Lake Claiborne. Jamie Callis. What do you say? Top 3 course. I mean, he put that up
It's
there.
in his top 5, yeah.
Definitely in his top 5. And then you have PR doing the. John is running it again. He said
Fallback Classic.
the Fallback Classic that he and I ran the first year. That was a good time.
Oh, so fun.
It was a great time.
You get to camp out there on the property. They do glow,
It was-
doubles, fun stuff that's not sanctioned.
Mike, it was so cold, and there was dudes sleeping outside by the fire.
Whoa.
Dude, that was
that was his only option? Or?
Nah,
I think it's
Nate.
just where he ended up after.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Understood.
So, yeah,
I-
yeah.
Dude,
This
I
is
woke.
warm.
I woke up and seen them because I was lucky that Steve and Kim let me use the PR trailer, and man, it had hookup plugs and like electric and stuff like that. I was running it off of the Wolfpack. They had theirs. Goki brought his sweet little trailer. They used to travel and do a lot of that stuff, but man, it was fun. It was
Did
cold.
They all have a trailer, I think.
Yeah, but it was fun, and I liked the skins match. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed helping John TD that. We were not liked because that was the same weekend as Lee Nockwin and up
Yeah.
in Memphis, which is another tournament. We ain't even talked about that. So man, you got Jonesboro, Lee Nockwin, which is a huge tournament up there. 22 years now. You get to play Shelby Forest, both Shelby Forest and courses, which are really woody, kind of res and red RIP courses, and then you go over to Bud Hill and play that. So that's a fun tournament as well. It just stinks that they're all at the same time. And PR, I know a lot of people were upset when we started that, but we filled it. We put 90 out there. I was happy with that, and Ron Converse. That was the first time I got to meet Ron, and
Is John going to do all of the extracurricular
yeah,
stuff as well?
yeah. It has a glow round. It has the camping. It's the same thing. It's the same setup, man. It's just and the MA3 is playing, but I got to work. That's the bad part about the arena. But I'd rather work weekends, sadly. But
Yeah. I may honestly just go up to play glow and like hang out.
the glow course was super fun. It was
Oh
so
my gosh.
cold, man. It was so cold, though.
Fun time.
It was so cold.
It
It's
is
just
going to
such
be
a
a little
fun
bit better.
property. If you can go camp out there, like it's beautiful. You're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. There's
They-
not a lot of light pollution.
Yeah, they put you up by hole 3 and 4,
Yeah.
right up there is where you
Yeah.
go and camp
It's-
out.
It might occupy a little bit of the Chillo course now that they've installed that, because when we first did it, there was no Chillo up there on the
Cello.
hill. I'm not sure if they're still camping there, or if that's the camping grounds or not.
yeah.
But
You got primitive camping, glow disc golf Saturday.
Willie Hollow's right down the road, too.
Yep,
so
yep.
It's a nice camp area.
nice. I got $1,750 added pro, 300 AM.
yeah, and their pro shops. So if you're getting credit, you're getting pick from a lot of good stuff.
$25 gift card is your player pack, so that's nice on a 40, 60, 50 on a $50 entry. Well, depends on what division you play. But that's a good deal. I mean, that's standard operating procedure. 20s, I mean, half of the thing should be pay $40, 20 of it should be your player pack. $2 to the PDGA, and then whatever to the
Rest towards payout.
Yep.
I definitely want to have an episode where we discuss that. We were talking to Charles about that and discuss just the breakdown of a tournament because there's a lot to that.
There is. You'd have to show somebody the tournament manager and let them see that the TD manager, whatever that little thing, because it doesn't let you cheat. I mean,
No, it does not.
It does not. It tells you if you're in the right or the wrong with your numbers. You can manipulate them and you can move them your percentages, but to where it does show green as low as possible, or whatever. But for the most part, it's pretty fair. It's pretty honest. It picks the cards, randomly picks the cards for you and everything. So, which is you got to make sure everybody's populated because it's a pain in the ass to do it all over and add people. But PR, it's a fun tournament. God, have I played there? Yeah, I played there this year. Never mind. I was gonna say, have I even played there this year?
So you got Mike going up to Natural State Open. I actually would love to go up to that, so I've got a decision to make because otherwise I'm going with Dan to Persimmon because Glow sounds fun. And it's not going to be super cold this weekend. We're getting our cold blast here in the next couple of days, and then we're going to warm back up. And then it'll be freezing cold for Northwest Arkansas Open like it always is. The other thing I wanted to bring up was this one. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. I've heard of this course in Clinton, Arkansas.
Yep.
Beautiful area. Mount Eagle Retreat.
Yep.
Yeah, Retreat Center.
That's the is that the private course?
It is a private course.
Yep.
There's a doubles going on up
Yep.
there.
That's cool.
Yeah, so
I grew up decently close to Clinton, so that's kind of cool that they. Is it a new course? Or
No,
has
it's
it
been
there?
around a second, man. They just opened it up for some people, I believe. If this is the same course, I believe
that
it.
view.
It's a beautiful,
sick.
it's a
That's
beautiful
beautiful.
course, man.
I
And
believe it. The area
there's
up
like
there
an-
is-
there's another 9-hole or something
Yeah,
up
I was
there.
gonna say they've got a city course that's like
Yeah, in their little city park.
on 65, Highway 65 that runs through Clinton.
They got one in your hometown too, don't they, Dan?
Yeah, there's a few.
Where's
It's
your
not my
hometown?
hometown. It's where my family's from.
Oh,
In Harrison.
Harrison.
I forget the name of the
yeah.
one. I've only played one of them that's up there, and it was actually pretty fucking sick.
You can say that. It's fine. I do it all the time, man.
We started a quarter swear jar, dude, but we were
pretty
giving way too much money away.
I
We
didn't
weren't
wanna be
making that much.
No worries.
Immediate regret. No, gosh, I'd have to look at my UDOS to see what that one is I played up there.
Yeah.
I've got a few courses up there that are cool.
Man, there's some really nice courses up in that before you get into the northwest. I guess that's further west, I guess,
Well,
right?
I got plenty of space to mess around with. I mean, come on.
Beautiful area, too, man.
There was an article, speaking of courses, why some, but, there was an article about, and I didn't read it, about are pay-to-play courses profitable? Like, I think Utilisport or whatever that is.
There's no way they're profitable right now.
No way, right? I
No
mean,
way.
depends. It depends on what the people owe who running it, right?
there's-
I mean,
there's
what's your
levels
business,
to it.
right?
It's like you got. I've never seen the Clinton place, but it's like something like that, and then you have like Eagles Crossing. that is
Eagles
putting
Crossing.
just an insane amount of money into their course.
I mean,
And
millions
there's
of dollars,
No way
right?
they're profitable.
Millions of dollars into this course, and what do they charge?
$40.
I
35
think
or
it's
40.
gone. I think it's higher.
It's gone up now.
Yeah.
So, is that worth it to you? Would you? Yeah, I would go play that.
Yeah, it would.
I would.
just- I mean, I know
$40.
$40 because then you would go
Take my
play
money.
somewhere else after
That's
that.
enough to play on a shitty ball golf course. So
Twilight rates, maybe. I mean, I don't. Pine Valley's like $10. I
Yeah.
think, ain't it? It's $10 for both.
Surely not.
Disc golfers and golfers. I thought I heard at one time.
$10 to go play their golf.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, have you seen that?
Yeah. It's the same as their
disc
tee
golf.
pads. It's the same thing.
Their greens are pretty.
Man,
That's
it's
fair.
it is. Yeah, I mean, but it's a good place to go and play if you don't want to go pay $75 to $100 like at Resbin.
No.
Screw
fair.
ball golf. This is a disc golf
Yeah.
podcast.
That's right.
Agreed.
Thank you, Dan. So, back up to Missouri real quick. and Eagles Crossing, I would totally do a road trip to go play Harmony Bends,
Yes.
and then go play Eagles Crossing,
Count me in.
and then maybe even go up to St. Louis and play their courses.
And I don't know what kind of money you make, but that's a lot of money right there, true.
Well, that'd be like my one trip for the quarter.
We do need to do that more. We need to make
We
destinations.
need to do that more, yeah. Harmony Bends is a bucket list course for me. I got to play that.
And there's a ton of places not that far away from us.
Just
Like in a
listen,
radius that you
a
can go
4-hour
play.
radius, man. We've always talked about this 4 or 5 hour radius, dude. There's some really, I know that Harmony pushes Harmony Bends up because Kat said it was like 6 hours, whatever. But
Yeah, but if you go to that 6, you get into like that Dallas area too. That you.
well, no, you're past Dallas, then, man.
Yeah.
You're down. Actually, you're down into Waco to a point you can go play the
Beast.
I mean,
Nah, man, it takes you a good 2 hours to get through Dallas. What are you talking about?
not anymore, man. Not anymore, dude. Go the back roads, baby.
I hate Dallas.
Back roads, yeah. Who doesn't hate Dallas?
My
If
brother
there
lives
was
If you don't,
one
you're not my
pro tour
friend.
course that you could teleport to go play tomorrow, where would you go?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Oh, the one up in Vermont, the
Roosters or
MVO, or
MVO?
why do I keep Mountain View Open? Yeah,
That's my choice. I don't think that one's on tour.
I would say
the MVP Open. I always have that up, whatever
Was
that
it-
course is.
Maple Hill. That
Yeah.
Sam
Yeah,
Lazat
MVP.
plays a lot.
Yeah, dude,
yeah.
that's it, man. That
I love his YouTube channel. I watch that course a lot via him and Casey White's YouTube channels, and I'm like,
That's a big
the
bucket
one
list.
of Charlotte, the now Mecca. I did see. I mean, you guys. I don't know if it's you
I made
doing
that
it.
post.
Okay, good. Okay, that's kind of funny. I always wonder if is this
You
my.
can ask me.
Because then I read it and I'm like, all
Just
right,
text
is this? Yeah, I want
The
to.
hardest hole ones was also me.
Okay, so
well played.
Charlotte has how
The
many?
Mecca.
23 courses.
21.
21 courses in
And that's
Charlotte.
just in that area, and you just even expounded it's within like a certain radius, like in the general surrounding area, it tripled.
Oh,
It was like almost 70 courses,
that's crazy.
probably all within like 30 to 40 minutes. Nuts.
Yeah, that is.
And we're sitting here.
I'm a little envious.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
is
but
the number one like place to go play.
But Charlotte is also a big city. It is a is that the bank capital of the world? Is that where all the banks are? Like every banking headquarters is in one of the North Carolina. I think it's Charlotte.
So Charlotte Hornets, man.
It's a very
I remember the '90s Charlotte Hornets.
dude. I wore a starter jacket, '90s Charlotte Hornets, baby.
God, those were such
Grandmama,
big,
baby.
fat jackets.
Little half zip with the pouch in the front.
Yeah, but yeah,
man.
look at the half zips.
Dan has a.
I got a Hogs one.
I was about to say his 1994 Hogs.
You still have it?
Yeah, dude.
He's
That's
busting.
nice.
He's busting out of it.
I had one as a kid, and then I
He
I
found
found
one.
this one on eBay.
He found it.
An actual like authentic '90s. It's a size extra large from the '90s. It must be a kid's. It fits like a medium.
Man, it's
chunky.
crazy how sizes have changed, man. It's just like
Look where we are in obesity. We're not going to get into that. That's a whole nother tangent that has nothing to do with disc golf that I will jump on.
just like obesity kids will jump on some cake.
You did it. You did it. Northwest Arkansas Open was coming up. We were talking about that. That used to be the only A tier. Is it still? Do we have more than that, Mike?
I don't know.
I thought we
Not
had
that
one
I know of.
more. We have some tournaments on their way to get that A tier status.
Everybody wants to be A tier.
You know, there's been some B tiers that have brought in way more cash flow than our A tier.
Yeah.
Well, I guess JBO is, and that's not A tier. That's next level.
What is that considered? Oh, that's
Elite.
elite. Okay.
Elite. Yeah.
Is elite and then A tier? Is there something in between that? Silver
that's it.
Series still
There's no more
was.
silver.
Yeah, no
I'm
more
gonna be
silver.
honest,
Well,
that
there's
whole-
silver Europe now, but
Silver lot.
The whole
Lot.
Silver Series, major, minor, elite. I mean, I don't. It's
it
a
was way
disc
too
golf tournament.
convoluted.
Why can we not make that simpler?
Well, we did this year,
By
It's
getting
still
rid of it.
confusing as shit.
but not near as confusing. What's confusing to you?
Well,
The fact that there's so many different ones, and they're like, this is his first XYZ win of the season. I'm like,
Imagine me that has to keep track of all of that, so
Like-
that when I write a caption, I get it right.
so he won.
It doesn't
but
matter.
what
You
did
can
he
put whatever
win,
you want
and
up
How are
there.
you gonna like categorize these? I guess it's like there's only so many of the ones, and there's
So
hold a higher title.
it funnels to our points is kind of the main basis.
Okay.
Whereas, elites are worth 100, elite pluses are worth 150, and now this year I believe majors are worth double. So they're worth 200.
I didn't even know Elite Plus was a thing.
So
They were a thing last year, but
Okay.
it's like that's the problem is like the way disc golf is, it's like people just know the events and that's kind of it. And it's not like we're at the point of golf where it's like,
Nobody keeps-
only big time names are gonna fly in for this
Yeah.
elite
nobody
plus.
Right.
nobody keeps up with the FedEx
The
point
field- the
sealers. Nobody
field is the
cares.
field. That's not true. There's people that care.
Well, there's some people, but
They wouldn't do it if they didn't
the-
care.
Well, I think your
the
point
average
of the field
person.
is the field is the
We're not
the
not
main thing.
we're
yeah.
not like we're 200 people or like 100 plus people's names.
It's like who's showing up.
I mean, it's like if you get outside of even top 20, most people don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And if you go 2 years back, you get outside of like top 5 or 10, most people don't know. So the fact that we're at like top 20 or 30 is a big step forward. But until we get into like the top 50 plus,
like who we're talking about? Zachariah Johnson. I mean,
I don't know
Luke,
the
Luke
exact
Humphreys
names.
was 35 this year. I was looking at Luke's stuff.
but he's also different because he does a whole
Or
bunch
no,
of
wait,
content,
maybe he was
so he has
53.
a broader reach.
Luke brings a lot to the table.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, so he would be that guy.
He's cool as hell, dude.
yeah,
If
super
you meet
nice
that guy, I was like, I really like you, man.
I'm
His vibe
gonna-
was
He's
cool.
got Hogan the sidekick. You can't beat a cool disc golf
No.
dog like that.
Not with an underbite like that.
Underbite like that,
Come
dog
on,
Scott.
He's fetching discs out of ponds.
Yeah, dude. I love that dog. And man, yeah, what a great stamp that is.
Yeah,
Great marketing.
I love Luke.
Which there's not a lot of in disc golf.
I'm gonna try to cash in some friend points and get him on the podcast.
Hey, I've
while
got
he's here.
I've got my initials coming out soon for my logo.
Yeah.
Hey, watch out.
No, I'm
What
kidding.
font
It looks
do
like
you
a
got?
Whippet W.
What font?
Man, whatever I want. Yeah, it's gonna be let's see, what's one that's like a like
Mine's gonna be
cursive?
tribal.
Casey White.
You don't want to do Comic Sans?
What?
Common Sans, yeah.
Comic Sans.
Yeah,
Cartoon letter.
that would be. It's got to stand out, right? So that would do it. So
What else are we talking about? I know
Well-
we're tangenting, getting off.
yeah, we'd do that, but it's good banter. So Northwest Arkansas Open, Flyway Brewery. My buddy Matt Foster is sponsoring that
I
again.
mean, 121's already signed up.
Yeah, I expect it to fill.
It's got a big cap on it though. It's like a cap for MPO and then a cap for MA1.
I'm looking.
They really need
If
to
I'm
put more
not
money
mistaken.
into it. 3,000 is just nothing compared to what we've seen recently here. You know?
Yeah. And that bar's
Don't
just gonna
jump on
keep
that.
raising.
I was gonna say, man, you're right.
You
Going
have to-
out and asking merchants of Fayetteville in the area for $50 is not that big of a deal, dude. You can have a freaking form letter and just email get. That's where like being part of a chamber of commerce. I know Matt. I'm sure Matt's on. I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe
Well,
he does.
Matt is starting the breweries. He's moving.
No, I'm
a
talking
brewery.
about
Oh,
Lloyd.
Matt Lloyd.
Being part of the Chamber of Commerce there, and because that's where all the schmoozing, right? Then you can go out to these businesses, and if you get 10 businesses to give you $50, and especially if you're where you can give them the tax receipt.
Well, you have to have nonprofit status
Yeah,
for that.
right. And if you're that way, then yeah, dude, you should be out asking for that money. Companies want to give you money if they can write it off as taxes.
They have to give a certain amount of money every year.
Right.
Mhm.
You use it or lose it.
I just imagine that Fayetteville U of A has a disc golf team. I would imagine.
Yeah, they
There's a
do.
lot of courses up there.
Just as
So-
trashy as all their other teams. Yeah, hook them.
We just beat number 3 Purdue.
Dude,
So
it's
you know,
preseason game.
Doesn't
I've
matter.
never seen a
Doesn't matter.
fan base getting amped
Doesn't
up
matter.
over
Yes, you have.
It was a
happens
sold
every
out
year.
game. It
No,
doesn't matter.
no.
My football team sucks, and it was a bye week. It was the perfect.
and they
storm.
lost somehow. I don't
It's a
understand
bye
that.
season. It's
Oh.
a bye season.
It's a
Bye
bye. You're right.
season.
You're
How many
right.
bye seasons in a row?
They've been on a few. Well, they had the
Seawolf
one.
will take every chance to
They
crap on Arkansas. that he
They
can.
will. Yeah.
Here's
They-
my thing.
Texas.
I always want Arkansas to do well so that the people that in this state can finally be happy.
That's not gonna happen, dude.
We'll always be. For
I've-
the
No.
basketball team now, we're gonna be happy.
Oh, our basketball team's gonna kick.
Disc
ass.
golf team could be last in the.
If
no,
if
no,
if
We
Mu-
kill it in track every
dude, every
Oh,
year they
yeah.
killed in track.
no
If
one watches track.
Muss don't get, if he say he got kicked out of the final 32, dude, people would be, this fan base would be like, fire him, get rid of him, he's trash. I've never seen a more fickle fan base than this.
Nah.
Texas fans don't care. We got bigger and better things to do than worry about them Longhorn stuff.
Such a Texas statement.
God, it is. 'cause
That
it's
is.
so-
I was going to say the same
If
thing.
our team sucks, we just go to Buc-ee's and eat some corn.
Dude,
dogs. I mean, you always got something to fall back on in Texas. Get out of here.
We've got the Walmart
Arkansas
of gas
basketball's
stations.
great. Don't let him talk crap. We beat number 3 Purdue.
Murphy
Our team
oil
looks
for
better
life.
at this point in the season than they did last year, and we sent 3 or 4 guys to the pros last year. We're gonna be just fine.
But it was a preseason game.
It was an
it was.
exhibition
It's
game.
an
and
exhibition
here's the
game,
thing.
bro.
Here's the disc golf part of it. All of the funds and proceeds went to tornado relief in Arkansas,
That's cool.
That is cool.
which actually directly impacts disc golf.
All right.
So you're welcome, Arkansas.
Thank you,
Razorback
Arkansas
basketball.
Razorback
Thank you,
basketball.
Arkansas Razorback
Say
basketball.
that again, Chris. Hang
Thank you, Arkansas Razorback basketball, and
on.
what,
All right, that's all we need to hear. Good job.
Clip it and ship it, boys.
All right.
and
Turn off his mic.
what happens at Texas changes the world. That's our motto. So, all right, here's your 1,000 rated players at the Dynamic Disc Imagine 6th Annual Northwest Arkansas, sponsored by Flyway Brewery.
Flyway Brewery.
They had the best. I need to go over there and drink some Belgian Tripel. Joel Freeman coming in at 10:34. Andrew Presnell 10:28. I have a great story to tell, but
Dang,
nobody will ever get
10:28.
that.
Another day.
It's a PR where I honked up where my car started going off and Andrew was trying to throw, and every time, man, I couldn't believe that. And I knew it. And Abe was on his card, and they're like, "Oh, that was you." It's like, "Yep, 3 times in a row." Anyways, Andrew, GT Hancock 10:13. GT's an interesting cat. Zachariah Nash. Never even heard of that guy, but
He won the
Zachary
NAB
Nash.
GT last year.
okay,
So
okay.
he got bumped up to MPO this year.
He's 10:11.
He's from Texas, too.
he's
You
from
should be happy
Hyco.
about that.
I know what Hyco is. It's a trucker place. That's where. Anyways, Abe at 10:07,
Go Abe.
Good job, Abe.
and then Zachariah Johnson. I always think him because he's an Innova guy, or used to be. I don't know if he still
He
is.
still is.
10:03. Those are your 1,000 rated guys.
Well, those 2 courses that they play, they're going to play Creekside and J Beast, I think.
Yes, has to be J Beast.
That's the usual.
I mean,
They are working on building some courses up in Northwest Arkansas, from what I've heard, that it could be like championship level. So,
oh, Mike Williamson 975. What's up, bro?
is he playing it?
Yeah, he's playing it. Just that rating he dropped a little bit.
I'm glad
man.
to see him traveling up
I
there.
am too. I miss Mike. He was a fun guy to hate at times. So, and he feels the same way about me. I mean, there's no.
I'm sure he
I'm sure he
does.
does. I'm just looking at the names here, but
I'm trying to convince Mike to go up there.
oh, you know what I saw? That's what I was
I'd be
gonna
down.
get at.
Depends on
Did-
how my finger feels, but
oh my god.
We'll check that finger.
we'll find out after.
I just noticed that. Did you already
natural state.
discuss what happened here? I don't want to repeat what.
no.
No, I think we
I-
should jump into that. Though.
I have a stretched out tendon or
Vaginitis.
ligament. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So it's fine. You can tell it's like super swollen. I don't think the camera's
Oh,
gonna
it's
be able
very
to see.
swollen and bruised.
Yeah. So it's
Hey, camera guy, zoom in on
I
that.
can't really like bend it right
Next week.
now, but I can like stretch it and try to get it limber enough that I can wrap it around the disc, and it's fine for like the first 12-ish holes, and then after that I kind of have to like push my finger.
Can I
on the
ask how it
disc.
happened?
I don't know.
Oh.
I think it happened from playing. So
Okay.
my fingers are double jointed in the ends. And so when I go to like put my forehand grip, when I stack grip into forehand, when that bends, it puts more pressure on this.
Okay.
And so I probably tried to really ram on a forehand and it just stretched it out. And then ever since then, it's just
Hey.
killing.
Rest, ice,
Yeah.
stay hydrated.
Yeah, I got to wait till after
Well,
natural
dude
state to
definitely does
plan
plenty
that.
of hydration. I mean, guy pees like a horse on Lasix. I mean, it's crazy.
So Mike and I played. What did we play? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
We
No.
played a lot, yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Must be nice.
Hey, I was able to jump off of work
I-
quickly, and
I'm not.
I've set some boundaries. Plus, I've got other shit to deal with. So, but got to play because I knew it was going to rain this weekend. And yeah, that finger was fat.
Yeah, it
A
hurts.
couple of those days.
Not PHAT, right?
I might be if I win.
Yeah. Get a ring to fit over it.
Pretty good looking finger.
There's another 1,000 rated player. I'm sorry, y'all. In the MP40 Dutch Napier is there.
Oh, Dutch. That's
never
cool.
met Dutch. I've never until Jamie really started talking about him. I've heard his name a few times, but
Dude, he's consistent as hell.
it's cool. He's
Dutch
from
Napier.
Owensboro, Kentucky.
I think his nickname is Batman. I think.
That's an odd
Plot
nickname, but I'm
thickens.
sure.
All right.
Yeah, I have to check that out.
I'm looking it up right now.
My boy Andy Henneberry's playing.
Yeah, man, I'll have to beat him.
Dude only comes out for A tiers or B. The Wook Master Deluxe only comes out and throws big dogs tournaments. It's kind of funny, and he does well. It's crazy.
Is there a show at Mulberry Mountain?
Probably. He's probably selling some crystals up there.
Rocks, like, well, that didn't help. Quartz.
He does meth and coke. So, no, Andy does not do either. He goes around and follow him on Facebook because he's always finding these super sweet rocks out on his property or gems. How about that, gems?
Dude,
It's
and
not
he's
a-
a gems. There you go, yeah.
He's about the coolest cat I've met on disc golf.
I
probably.
love playing with him, and he's a great player. He's an old school style player. Throws a
And
lot of old Innova.
He's
Super good.
985. Is that 65? I can't read.
God, did he get up to 985 now?
No, he's 65.
I'm still way
He
behind.
just don't play enough. Anyway, cat, boom, boom, boom. So yeah, that's a fun tournament. And that's really it. That's it for the year. And then this pro disc golf's in an off season, and just like any sport, the off season has free agents. I guess we call them. I
Yeah,
mean, I
you
don't know if
call
they're
that.
called. There's not like
Contracts are
I don't think there's a union or anything like that. A players union, is there? There's no players union
I
in
don't
disc
know.
golf.
Not yet.
They just
they
they
don't have
just
that
told to
kind of
get in their
pull yet.
van and go show up, right?
Go to Florida.
Which, by the
This
way,
ain't the NBA, dude.
there's a few vans for sale out there. I noticed, man. I saw Gavin put his up, and Tanner
Gavin.
Wraithburn.
Rathbun?
Yeah, I always want to call him Wraithburn. I don't know why. I think
Maybe
that's
they're all going the Simon way.
I'm feel like
Flying in.
I would feel like, man, a car and just knowing if you're going to be able to shack up at somebody's house all the time, a car would be the way to go. But
Or at least an SUV. Carry all your gear with you. Something you can carry all your discs, clothes, and
Yeah, you
something
gotta
you
have-
don't have to sleep in because you're gonna find like if any touring pro or even not at that level comes through Little Rock, we shack. They can shack up in multiple places.
You're right.
I mean,
Yeah.
that happened at Tees in the Trees when some of those guys came
The
into town.
Europeans came, yeah.
Yeah.
Went over to Randall D's.
Jakob Semrad. Yeah, they went out and hung out at Randall D's farm. And he hosted like 4 or 5 of them dudes.
out in College Station,
And I'm sure they had a wicked time out there.
Oh,
You
I'm
know,
sure.
City.
A first-hand Arkansas experience.
he was
So it's
living
like-
out
The
of
backyard is pretty
you can only
intense.
imagine in these bigger cities where these guys are going through, they've got these YouTube followings, Instagram, whatever. They could say, hey, I'm coming through.
But they might
Easily
not
get
like
up
that
close.
either.
Well, that's the comfortability factor.
Yeah, and you never know what you're going to get.
But all that to say,
Welcome to
they
Arkansas.
don't need a giant
I've been
RV.
waiting.
They were super great folks when I met them
Harp.
at Tees in the Trees. Yeah, Jakob was actually made a putt on the last hole of the first round on hole 18 of the not the last hole because I had to go play. I didn't get to start on one, but Jakob actually got to see it, and I had talked to him that morning, and it was really cool because I said that putt was for you.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jakub.
Jakub.
Well, I forgot the guy's name that won it, but I got to play on his card. Doubles it.
Max.
Red.
Max Reddenig.
Getting
Yeah,
it.
he's a Discmania sponsored guy, so I got to see him throwing a bunch of discs that I throw too. Super nice guy.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
Canadian.
Great sentiment too after he won the tournament. You know, even spoke towards the Tornadoes, kind of demolishing the courses that he got to play. You know, a few days before.
You'd be shocked at how many people know about Burns.
It's one of the oldest
It's
courses in the
When
country.
When
I mean, it was.
went to Champions Cup this year, and I told people found out that I was from Arkansas, that was the first thing out of their mouth was about Burns.
I believe
Yeah.
that. I believe that, man. It's one that everybody always would come and play from out of town. Everybody always go play Burns. Go play Burns.
Yeah,
I love.
Arkansas
our
States
production
was-
staff was like, "No way, Burns is gone." Yep.
Yeah, man.
So, Arkansas States was in there what year? It's like
Mm. No.
third or something?
No. They're only
No,
in
it wasn't that
30 something.
I swear.
I've
I
got
thought
some
they were
discs out there that
Yeah.
say like
Well, we can just look it up too. We're all capable, but
I know they're
it
way
was
up
in the
there.
30s.
And
was in
it
the
always
30s,
was
'cause I've
there.
got a Wraith from a few years ago. Something.
Okay.
I feel like both those courses are a fair course, especially Blue and Longs is
Blue's an incredible course.
because you're like, oh, it doesn't look long, but man, it's long. And
There's some old footage from the 90s of some of the first state tournaments there. And yeah, seeing some of the guys that we still see out playing today, like Robbie Shaw. There's video of Robbie Shaw recorded on a VHS tape, at the original Burns Park.
laser disc.
He's wearing, some cut-off jean shorts and a sleeveless shirt, just ripping it like he still does now.
Does he?
People's champ.
Did
Shout out Robbie Shaw.
Robbie Shaw? And he probably had all brown hair. Didn't have that like me. Well, my hair's not really.
He's aged well.
Yeah, he's a good-looking dude, man. If I was into older dudes, I'd totally hook up with him.
Okay.
All right. What's next on the list, Wyman?
What other older dudes would you guys hook up
What a
with?
segue.
I've been thrown off.
And moving on.
We were
So-
talking. What were we talking about?
We were talking off season. There's no wraparound events, correct?
Oh.
Nope.
So that are going to be worth points. They're not doing that again.
Nope.
Um,
That was kind of an experimental thing that did not work
so
out
did
well.
not work out. Huh?
They're all going out to these
It just doesn't make sense.
A tiers and cherry picking them
Well,
right now. I've
Here
noticed.
the thing why we did it is all for subscriber retention.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you gotta find some way to add value to people to want to stick around.
Sure. Which it seems like DGN is doing that now with a lot of. There's a lot of docuseries and all kinds of
you'll
stuff on there now.
always have drop off because that's just the nature of the sport. But it is like our job, especially in marketing, try to reduce that as much as possible.
Sure.
That was an idea, and we tried it. And I don't think it's a bad idea, but it's just one of those things. It's like you have the ops guys that are busting their ass all year, going to this place next week, in this place next week, in this
Yeah.
place.
You guys need a break.
Yeah.
So.
Whatever,
and
dude.
then now, like, you finally get an off season, and now they have to go somewhere else to start setting up another course. So that's an
Man.
exhausting job.
I thought was a good idea though is the exclusive skins. They were on DGN
Yeah,
this last year. That probably
those were cool.
And the production was great. The quality was great. It was worth watching.
Did they do the-
had DGN for the last few years anyways, so I was gonna watch it. But
Yeah,
Did they do that Ken Climo?
the Legends. Yeah, that was on
yeah.
DGN.
Okay, yeah, that was good.
I mean,
I
technically, I
enjoyed
think it's
watching that.
GK that produces
I-
it.
it
but
is,
shown
yeah.
on us first.
And man, I did like watching Ken throw. Barry was, I think, still struggling. I think he had an injury or something. But
It's still just cool to see.
it was cool watching Kid.
and you had
With
who
Nate
else? Nate and
Shoestrick.
Shoestrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like who else could you have gotten? What was the?
How'd Shoestrick do?
Oh,
He was kind of going for mad stuff and that, to be honest.
yeah. I mean, he's.
I think he ended up winning overall.
Yeah,
but,
I think the saddest part, I don't think Kenny got a single skin in the whole.
but he threw some good shots. It was like every time he threw a good shot, somebody else would also
Yeah.
throw a good shot.
I would expect Nate to win because he knows how to play that game. It's like chess for
Yeah.
him. So.
Yeah, and he's playing these courses and stuff. I mean, Ken's just not throwing much anymore. I don't think so.
Well, he really can't. He said that he had a back issue, so it's like he could play one round, but after that, he's kind of hurting.
Doctor said I need a bacchiotomy, man.
What was fun about those four guys though? Watching Barry, Ken,
You could have Nate Doss.
you
What am
could
I-
see the differences of all of their forms.
Yeah.
And then I could look and be like, oh, that looks like this guy's form. Eric Oakley, he's kind of got this like out form, like Barry Schultz and all these.
You can
like,
see the evolution
you
of
can
it.
see like
Yeah.
as someone that's relatively new to the sport, I'm like, like these guys that are seasoned veterans in our sport now, we're watching Barry Schultz
Yep.
and Ken Climo. Clearly, they were taking notes, and like that was their YouTube of the day. Like we have YouTube,
So easy.
but that was something that struck out to me in that watching.
They had
was like,
microfiche back in the day.
Yeah,
That's, man, good point, Dan. So that's because I don't remember how I was throwing in '99 when I started.
I do like trash. Still am.
What changed?
I putt better than you do. That's
You
about it.
don't.
So.
No, you don't.
So,
Please.
Putting league challenge.
It's
all right, yeah, this is on tomorrow, right? You guys
Yeah,
are
it's
both gonna
on
be
tomorrow. Come out. I'll show Mike how to
All
putt
right, I'll
from
see you at
15 to
Stone Links on
35.
Tuesday.
Yep.
Well done. So a lot of players like to go. Let's just jump into real quick off-season stuff. A lot of players like to go down to Florida. That's a year-round playable state. Arkansas is as well. We have Gavin Babcock living now in Jonesboro.
Yep, confirmed.
That's pretty sweet. Maybe he'll bring more folks with him.
Offering lessons up there too for anyone wondering.
Is he offering lessons?
Yeah, he
I saw
posted
it
on
on
that.
the
Yeah.
Jonesboro page.
So will he be the highest rated? He's not hiring Kevin, is he?
He's like 10-20 something.
Oh,
Right?
so
I
they
don't know
may
what
be
Kevin
close,
is
man.
nowadays.
So
I
even
would
though,
imagine Kevin's in that 10-30 range.
even though Kevin is in North Carolina now, I mean, I don't know if Gavin lists Jonesboro as residence, but
I'm gonna talk to him. I think in the near future, and I'm gonna be curious to see why he chose Jonesboro. That'd be interesting.
I think
I'm
it's
curious as well.
spouse.
Ah,
Spouse
yeah,
is,
yeah, it's got to be a
spouse's
girl.
job.
Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense.
Well,
Yeah.
how fitting for it to be in a city that has Pro Tour course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be planned by her. I don't know what she does, but Arkansas State. It's kind of interesting they don't have a bigger disc golf team.
Well, maybe now they will get one. I mean, the
It's kind of out in the middle.
yeah.
It's
I'm
for
really
this
excited to
side.
play that new course over there. But
Twin Towers.
Towering Oaks.
Thanks.
so I know a lot of players go down to Florida, and that's where the tour is going to start this year.
Yes.
So very interesting. Vegas is out. Florida's in.
Yep.
And New World. Is that where they'll
No,
start?
I don't know. I don't know the course, to be honest, that we're playing. I do. I think it's. I don't know if it's rock. It's whatever one Paul and Dylan are designing.
Oh, is that the throw down the mountain course?
Unsure.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to.
Well, I know Cactus Rock is one that they built.
That's the one they were working on before
But
they
I don't
bought
think that's
Throw Down the
Florida.
Mountain.
Cactus Jack was Mick Foley's one of his alter egos in wrestling.
What a tangent. Oh, man.
No, Florida,
I'm not even going to jump into that.
Florida does, that does offer a lot of great stuff, just climate wise. Like, yeah,
Texas, same way.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
We're not
Like
talking
that's the
about
thing
Texas
is like
here.
even when we went to Vegas to start, the weather was still awful. It was cold and it was
It's super
windy.
cold. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
it's
it's
cold
like, what
out
are we-
in the desert.
It just makes no sense.
Yeah, Florida, you got to imagine.
Always.
And if anything comes from it, what I want to see is more videos of alligators stealing people's discs and bags.
Yeah,
oh,
dude.
that video
Viral.
is so good.
That was the coolest video that came out this year.
Easily.
Oh no, my bag! Just took it.
Oh, man.
If we can get like an uptick in those videos, let's just play in Florida year round. Because I
Agreed.
thought that was awesome.
we can go right down to Louisiana and
As a
mess
social
around with
media
some
guy, I
gators.
endorse this message. Give us the clicks, baby.
Could do like those gator
Yeah,
guys.
why aren't we?
who
We
do-
need to do this.
Yeah, just start bringing some gators into the courses too. Like
Just
build
start
some
putting
natural
chicken in your
habitats
bag.
for them.
I
Go
think
ahead.
Heinemann would be perfect.
Just put them in the pond.
Probably is a gator.
I don't. Surprised we haven't seen a python yet or something.
I'm not getting back in that water. But
There's a dude fishing in there the other day. It's funny. Out at Hyman in that first pond. It's like it's.
I just had to pause for.
I was like, why was there a pause? I was just like,
Because it's a
man.
Did he
natural
catch
thing.
anything?
There's always guys fishing. out there.
No, not like this. It
We
was-
did tell them that we don't think they stocked this one.
Yeah, yeah, no,
The
they
ones
don't
back
stock that one.
Oh,
yeah.
the whole one pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's
Yeah.
gross. That's not worth it.
Yeah, I
Actually-
don't know what they were doing. Yeah,
I did have some kids ask me where they could get algae. What ponds around town had a lot of algae. I said, well, go down to Heinemann because they're full of that. They had to get it for a science project or something. Just for a little context. What was I looking up?
Off season.
Off season.
By the course.
Gannon Burr.
I was
that's
wanting to
all
look
that
up the
matters.
course. Yeah,
Gannon
Cactus Rock is
Burr.
the name of the course that just popped back in my head. That Dylan Cease pitcher for the.
I don't know if that's the one they're playing or not. That's what I don't want to commit to an answer on that.
yeah, I don't think
I
it's
know-
Throw Down the Mountain either.
It might be.
I think there was still a
Throw
lawsuit for
down
that
the
one. I
Yeah,
think,
but that
yeah.
could be cleared up by then. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I know the Throw Down the Mountain course is in Florida, and I know Paul is also
What mountains are in
designing that
Florida?
one.
Dude, this course is. Have you guys
What
watched
mountains
that?
are in Florida?
The Throw Down the Mountain course is incredible.
No, but there's no mountains. What I mean, it's below in the state below
There's
sea
some
level.
insane elevation.
It's just crazy elevation change. It's
Yeah.
like a old. I mean, it looks like a rock quarry, in chunks of it. It's
Throw down the
insane.
mountain.
I can't wait to watch that event unfold.
So they actually had to buy that property because it was kind of what's going on at Stafford Woods. Was going to be bought for development.
Yep.
So Dylan Cease and Paul Macbeth went in and bought it. Saved the course. One of Paul's favorites, apparently.
Because he surely ain't playing well on him. Yeah, he's got to save him.
Ooh. Sure, what he said of the guy's putter that we use. So.
I wouldn't expect anything less from an of a guy. He's salty.
Yeah. So,
Calvin,
anyways,
save me.
OG for life.
the flow this year, as far as travel for the players, looks good. As far as what they've developed
Better.
for the tour, looks better.
Better.
Only going
It'll
Hey,
never
man,
be perfect.
you know what? They don't
There's-
have to play these events. They don't have to travel. You don't have to do your job 365 days a year. You don't want to.
For a lot of them, they don't have a choice.
Well, I mean,
So it's the only way they.
I mean,
can stay afloat.
Calvin can go be an engineer.
No, I just mean like if they want to play disc golf, they kind of have
Well,
to travel. and
That's
go to
correct.
every event.
So when I hear people giving them like, oh, it's so much on these guys. Whoa! They signed up for this, man.
yeah, but that
it's
doesn't
not.
mean that
I
we
mean-
can just treat them like trash.
Oh, you can because they don't have a union, and you can.
No.
I mean,
God
seriously.
bless.
I mean, think about like what it used to be in NFL and Major League Baseball before there were
the
unions.
Dictator
dude.
Pro Tour.
That's I mean,
The DDGPT, the
They-
Dictator Disc Golf Pro Tour.
it's structured to where these.
All hail Wolford.
It's structured to on a point system, so therefore, in order to get to that final goal you want to toward the end of the year, the tour championship or whatever it
Yeah.
is, you have to play these events. So, and these guys obviously want to win them. I don't think these guys are out there just traveling, just have a good time. They do like to win, which it's not a sport where you see a lot of fiery.
No, what your point leads to another point. And if you look at other major sports, due to the overwhelming amount of games that they've added to just say an NBA season,
NBA's
you're-
82 games.
and,
Yeah.
and you're a huge fan, you get to go to one game a year. Let's say I'm a huge LeBron James fan. I want to go to Memphis, the
Yeah.
closest place to see him, and he's playing 82 games. He's old. He's like the second oldest player in the league.
And it's game
And
25 of the season.
He takes a week off. He
Yeah.
takes a week off because of injury prevention or whatever. And as a fan, that
sucks.
stinks. And you want to avoid that from the fan side, and you kind of want to avoid that from the player side of them needing to take time off. Now, granted, injuries happen for anybody, but there's a fine balance,
It's
right?
a
of
disc
like-
golf, man. It's disc
You got to
golf.
keep it within brackets.
They're not playing football where they're going in and crashing into people.
It is, yeah, it's
But
true.
there's still going to be wear and tear,
There's
man.
still wear and tear from
It
the
is.
travel and the play and the
Look
practice.
at his finger.
I mean,
That's from overplaying 100%.
It's a fun, and they've got to have an off season. Like every sport has an.
they
off
should have it. I'm not saying they shouldn't. That's for sure. I'm just saying the travel and the stuff is part of it.
And I also,
it's a lifestyle I'd love to live. I mean, hook me up. And
I want to
boom.
say there's a big difference. Might make some people mad. There's a big difference in pros throwing versus somebody that can only throw 200 feet.
Yes, no,
It
for
is
sure.
a violent movement when
It
you're
is.
throwing 500 plus feet.
It is. It is, man. I hear the snap come off of Goose. Aaron Gossage, man. I've
Yes.
never heard of somebody like shooting a cannon off, man. And that's because the amount of grip and strength that they're putting into it. I just choose the finesse game. I like to make love.
Mhm. Well, I saw that firsthand for my first time. The COVID Jonesboro up the time frame. We went
Yep.
up there, camped, volunteered, got to see Calvin, Paul,
Different,
all
man.
these guys throwing it. Like
It's different.
It is. It's like you think you're a baseball player, and then you go. Even just was going to Ray Winder and watching AA Travelers because you got to sit right next to the bullpen. Dude, that's some gas, man.
Yes.
And that's just AA, man. You're not even gotten to the guys throwing 104. These dudes are throwing like 92.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's the same way, man. You can hear those discs flying for. I mean, they just sound like drones, maybe. I don't know, just cruising across.
So, yeah, we're kind of getting to that point where it's like people are like, oh, well, I can play every day and I have no problems. It's like you're not throwing the same way. And it's also different. They're out there practicing field work. They're doing putting for hours. Like when I was in at Champions Cup at WR, and I had my little booth set up all day while players were practicing to record on-ground videos. legitimately, there were guys there for 3+ hours practicing putt.
I'm,
And then they
That's
would
what it
go,
takes.
and then they would go throw into a net for an hour, and then they would go play a practice round, and then they would come back and putt for more. Speaking of Gavin, I stayed at the same hotel as him, and he would have a basket set up outside of the hotel and would putt until the sun came down. You don't realize how much work these guys are really putting in.
you know, I never really knew. I knew it was a lot.
And
but-
why would you?
Yeah, right. I mean, I've not really sat down and talked to a pro
be-
on that level about what their regimen is, and
Because every professional level requires, I mean, dude, Steph Curry's going out and shooting probably 1,000 jump shots.
Yep.
I mean, that's what Ray Allen was doing, shooting 1,000 3-pointers after a game.
They're not good on accident.
No,
right.
no, it's such a routine for them, and it's why I think they're able to pick any disc up and just throw it. If,
100%.
as long as the speeds and everything are kind of equal, man. Destroyer, 13 speed to here to there, whatever the equivalents are, man, they should be able to throw them, and they do because it's an action.
But yeah. So to bring it all back around, be able to have that routine and keep that routine and have that wear and tear in your body throughout, God, I don't even know, 30+ events, plus the stress and high octane factor of competing for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars, like that's exhausting.
Only growing.
Yeah, and sure, it's a dream. So of course, like they're not complaining, but that doesn't mean that we can't factor that into certain things.
You know, I'm
We
curious.
can't
about-
ignore it.
Right. I mean, I totally agree with you. I'm curious about the what a workout regimen might look like for a pro, as far not the consistency of playing disc golf, you know, and putting for 3 hours. and all
Whatever
that.
Planet Fitness has to offer.
Well, I'm curious
What's
if there's like a
different
lot
for
of yoga
everybody?
involved. You know, yeah, it would be different for everyone for sure. But that is a question that I have.
That's an interesting thing because that is actually a plan for us on the DGPT socials, is to go do a day in the life with Gavin
Awesome.
and see what his work. Now he's obviously like one of the more in shape guys, maybe the most in shape guy.
we're
on
talking
How
tour.
old is he? Do we know how old he is?
25.
Okay.
Is this Babcock or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I should have clarified.
No,
yeah.
you said the most in shape. Not that
Well,
Gavin's not in shape, but he's kind of thin.
The reason I ask of age and Wyman, that's a great point and question to make. I'm sure once these guys are getting into their 5+, definitely, you know, you see guys like Paul, Ricky, they're like much more concerned about their physical training, that and stuff, diet. But do you really think Gannon Burr is working out?
He did say he was trying to put on muscle.
That kid did, yeah. I just and like,
Protein
But it's
powders, just-
different.
but
He's
when you're
different.
that young,
Yeah.
your body feels like a rubber band. You don't need
My
to do toe
body's a
touches and
rubber
jumping
band.
jacks. But
Well,
as the age and the wear and tear, it becomes more important as you get older.
100%. And it's also like, you know, calling a spade a
Thought that was pretty
spade.
good.
Disc golf athletes aren't like your typical athletes.
Totally.
Like we have very few people that I think would be successful in others as like just sheer athletes.
Okay, that's a
That's not even a hot take. I think 90.
Like I'm trying to be nice about it, but it's
I think
like,
a lot of disc golf fans would agree with that.
like if you watch disc golfers run, you're like, how do you throw a disc so well and so quick?
Does this explain why I'm not really super good at disc golf? Because I can be good at other sports.
Well,
Maybe.
there's another side of that coin. A lot of great athletes, let's say just like American football players, get a disc in their hand, they can't throw it 200.
Right.
But they can bench press 225,
Yeah.
a dozen times. Like, it doesn't translate. None of that stuff really translates. It's a very unique
It's a
sport.
different skill set.
It's
Sure.
the game of golf, period, whether it's a ball, stick, or a disc. It's a very specific movement. You've got to be efficient with the body that you have.
Yes.
And the part of it that's crazy is, I mean, all of our bodies are different. Everyone's going to throw the disc differently.
Yeah.
So there's no one size fits all in anything, but I think especially in the game of golf, whether it's disc golf or ball golf, that training regimen is going to look different per person, per age, per ability.
And you see the parity in the athletes through
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah. And there's
Sure.
guys like Gavin who was he a college wrestler?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
Like,
I
dude
just
grew
sat
up
here and
lifting
found
weights
that. I was
and
like,
being an athlete.
is this
Yeah.
Gavin?
Oh,
That
insane
I didn't know if it was the
athlete,
same
yeah.
one.
But then there's guys like Gannon, and I didn't use him as an example just to crap on him.
He can build
But
Legos.
he's young, but he's also been throwing discs since he was probably like 4 years old.
That's all he knows.
So,
Yeah, most of these people
Yeah.
I know didn't grow up on it, and that's a good thing. It's changing
yeah,
that.
a lot of us totally amateur dudes, like me, I grew up playing every conventional American sport ever and didn't have an actual disc in my hand until I was 26 years old. Like,
Yep.
what do you think my ceiling's really going to be? Like, no amount of training is going to get me to where any of these guys are.
Just make cool videos and post them that you're going to be a pro.
I love this insight because Dan is a very in shape individual. So, I would definitely have to change the regimen up a little bit. Mine would definitely be different. Maybe I would take some advice, but then would tweak that as I started to actually, and the thing actually caught that you talked about. The poof.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
plosives, yeah.
sorry. But I would have to. Yoga would be probably a big part of mine.
And that's a great idea because that's an actual sport specific exercise that's going to benefit you. Like
Right.
that's something that's going to benefit your longevity, your flexibility, mobility,
We saw this in
muscle
normal
endurance.
golf,
You don't
too.
need a huge amount of like immediate power, in disc
Yeah.
golf.
Everybody looks like Tiger Woods now. And ball golf, dude. They're all so ripped, dude. It's crazy.
He got ripped pretty quick after.
Yeah,
Well,
he
nobody.
did.
It's we're gonna see the same thing in disc golf at some point. Like, and we
Gannon
see it a
Bird's
little
huge.
bit. Well, it's just
Yoked
like,
out
it's just
Gannon
like
Bird,
with
dude,
golf.
just-
It's like you have guys like John Daly, right?
Yeah.
And then you have guys like Tiger that kind of change the way that people look at
I
fitness.
was waiting to see who you're going to compare disc golfer to John Daly to.
Ooh, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
We have to answer
Is
that.
that Zach Melton?
No.
I don't know.
I mean, he just seems like a
man.
fun-loving guy.
I don't know if like.
I mean, I don't know if Zach's at Hooters and on the Hooters tour that they
John
create.
Daly was a wild
Dude,
dude.
he was.
Arkansas is fine.
I think
Crooked
disc golfers are,
sticks.
as a whole, a little bit more mellow on average.
I mean, I would almost think
He's in the weed
Matty O.
business now.
like Matty O, like is someone like John
That's
Daly.
honestly a pretty good
John
Personality
Daly
wise?
grew up playing golf. Matty O grew up playing golf. You know the story of his dad and the community he grew up in. I doubt Matty O lifts any weights or does yoga. Maybe he does. I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong. But Matty O strikes me as a dude that just goes out and plays and has fun.
Yep.
And like that's what I think of when I think of
He's
John
pretty
Daly.
open about partying too.
Yeah, and you,
Hell yeah.
you got to imagine
Yeah,
he
good
kind
for
of kicks
him.
it a little bit. But yeah, no, that'd be my.
And he's finally got a big win, so yeah, it's a pretty good comparison.
Great year.
I'm a huge Matty O fan, by the way.
Big
How
time.
can you not be?
I
Yeah,
feel like
he won
everyone
Best
is.
Picture. Yeah.
I mean, not saying I'm not. I mean, but
So, what kind of workouts you do, Wolford?
long
12-ounce
tokes,
curls.
long tokes, 3.5 grams at a time, baby.
Oh.
So
So,
12-ounce twisted tea curls.
God, these is getting me fat. I gotta quit drinking, dude. I can see my mushroom gut. on
I
my
think
mushroom
we
shirt.
will see it though very soon.
See what? My mushroom gut?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna show it to
back
you.
to the athletes thing.
People optimizing their fitness outside of.
Well,
the
they're
stuff
they're
itself.
gonna have to.
Look at
Well, there's
Ezra.
benefits of it.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at Ezra, dude. The guy is he ripped of not Ezra Aderhole, not Robinson. Ezra's
Well,
ripped,
like
dude.
I think as the money gets there and the competition gets more and more and more and more, you're gonna have to give yourself every possible chance to succeed. You're not gonna have a choice if you want to make it.
And within that scope, it's going to be, in my opinion, a longevity factor.
Yes,
They're
100%.
not. They're not going to work out to get stronger to throw
Right,
50
right,
feet further.
right. You're not
They're
getting.
going to work out and exercise very specifically, hopefully under the guidance of professional trainers
Yes.
for longevity.
Yes.
Because that's the thing that's crippling these guys. That's the thing that's keeping them from making the most amount of money and points and sponsorships. Is they get injured, they can't play.
Yep.
You have to prevent injuries. How best do you do that?
Especially right
Diet
now,
and
my
exercise that's
goodness.
specific to your sport. So yeah, inevitably, and like we've already seen it, like Disc Golf Strong.
Yeah, that's
Ricky
it.
promotes that. There's other things and places out there in place that
The
do
dude that warms them up with a badminton rack
Badminton
and
phenomenon
That's Disc
out
Golf
of
Strong,
nowhere.
Yeah, what
That's
a-
Seth. He works for us.
There's- okay, I
Shout
didn't-
out Seth.
We've got a disc golf
They all do it
branded a resistance band in there.
Yeah,
we
it's hanging
found.
up on the.
It's
That's cool.
there, but to
It-
your point, Mike, I think it is going to happen. It's going to
It's
continue to
inevitable.
happen, and if the reason is for longevity, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're not doing it to get stronger, like a football player to go knock someone's head off.
Yes. It's going to be very sports specific.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll see the same thing in golf.
Yeah.
You're going to have to. It's going to eventually make a wave, and you're not going to be able to compete. And other like niche sports that I follow, same with like
Pickleball?
CrossFit, was like in the early days of CrossFit, it was guys that just trained on the weekend. Now, if you even want to have any chance to even sniff winning, you have got to dedicate your freaking life to it.
You want to know how somebody does CrossFit? They talk about CrossFit.
Hey. First time I've ever mentioned it to you.
So really, I brought up the question because I'm looking at it from my age for longevity reasons.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Proof's in the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding.
And it makes such a big
thank you,
difference, too.
But it comes from the Neanderthal of the fat stoner. I mean, that's who disc golf was.
Sure, the roots of
I
it.
mean, the roots of it.
Stigma.
Yeah, it's not a stigma. It's real. Look at me.
Hey, man.
Well,
No stigma about it.
I mean, the majority of folks that people were,
But it's not. I'm not like whatever. Like some of the people.
that
I used to
stigma's
play
got to
with.
go.
Yeah,
That keeps us
yeah.
from getting courses.
I mean, you could
places.
still be fit and like toke it up. Look at Ricky Williams in the NFL.
Look at this fucking guy.
Whoa,
Yeah, I did say that really
aggressively.
That was loud.
That was loud.
But I
and
meant it in like
aggressive.
a really
All love.
positive way.
All love.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky, run, baby, Texas.
Oh God. Of
Yeah, I
course. Some
know,
way to
I
bring
know,
it
dude.
back.
I was like, thanks, Dan. I went to Ricky's Heisman Trophy. Quick story: I went to his Heisman Trophy parade, and they were bringing all these people down, and you saw all you saw was this car, and it was this person in a Hooters outfit, and you're like, oh, Hooters girl. And Austin had this bum guy called Leslie, who was a crossdresser back in the day, and it was him, dude. I felt so bad about myself. That's a great story.
Dude, that really does sound interesting.
It was.
You went to a Buc-ee's and got some
Leslie.
corn nuts.
Leslie used. He was.
18 different kinds of beef jerky.
He was the guy. He would ride around 6th Street on this huge bike, and man, he was a very interesting guy, and he was like an icon down there. That's about right though for Austin. What else? What else we talking about? Oh,
Austin's no longer weird. That's what
no,
we're
it's
talking about.
not. It's so pretentious.
Anyways,
Gannon Burr's leaving. Prodigy for real this time.
free agents.
Yeah, free agents, and we'll be done.
okay. Yeah, what
We're
time?
probably like 18 hours into
Who
this.
It's
cares?
9:05.
So,
Vibing.
who knows even what time we started?
Yeah, Gannon Discmania. Let's go.
Gannon,
Okay, I agree.
it makes sense. It made sense last year.
Keep my mouth shut.
Oh, do you know?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
So-
I may not. I wouldn't say I know. I do not know.
don't tell us.
Oh,
I have a
Mike.
good. I have a good idea.
Is it Discmania? Is it MVP? Is it Lone Star? Oh, he
It's-
blinked. He smiled.
Oh! Lone Star did sign somebody.
Who did Lone Star?
Carter Aarons.
Card Aaron's.
Okay. Whoa. Okay.
That's a cool signing.
Like the mini Ezra. That's
Yo,
what he was.
I'm
giving.
gonna say
Okay,
Lone
so
Star.
was that kid Discraft last year?
He was just dynamic.
He is dynamic.
Dynamic,
Yeah.
okay. I remember seeing
And
him.
he can smash.
Lone Star, man,
I hear people say, "Oh, their plastic's trash." I'm like, have you actually thrown any of it?
it's good. I mean, it's just as good as plastic as the next.
It doesn't like I don't see
Um,
where I've heard that consistently from a handful of people. Oh, Lone Star plastic's trash. I'm like, it feels there's some of them
He's
that
gonna be
do feel
putting with
flimsy.
the-
Their flight plate, like the top, does feel a little thin.
Yes,
some
it
of the
does. It does.
plastics.
It does.
But after throwing some of it now, I'm like, man,
You bombed that.
It's the lucky
Dos Ex?
shots.
That Dos
the
Ex.
Dos Ex. I'm like, that's like,
What'd you say?
It's
the
the
lucky-
lucky shots.
yeah, right. I've thrown it for 3 weeks now. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah, that's crazy how you can base
Now,
that.
Discmania would be sick for Gannon.
I mean, that's got to be. Who else is on the? Who else is out there?
Eagles. Speaking of Discmania,
I mean,
Is he up?
Yep.
Ooh,
I
they're
believe.
not going to let him.
They
I
can't.
believe.
They can't.
He hasn't had a rock star season to just be like,
He just had some
sign
surgery.
me, you know, big
I don't know. He had a
company.
pretty good season.
I'd say
if
a
you
good
look at
season
it.
for his.
Did you see the
yeah,
second
for his
half of
injury.
the season?
I mean, he made a little comeback in the end. You're right.
A little
But-
comeback.
And he sells a lot of
But-
discs too.
but
He's
man,
going to sell a lot of discs
that's what we're
regardless of where he
talking
goes.
about, right.
So I guess
That's
that's
all
a
that
factor.
matters.
Yeah.
Where else? Because they're gonna make a Grateful Dead.
Oh,
Back. Can't believe
I
it.
That's why I
Yeah,
think
Grateful
Simon's the
Dead.
most valuable player on the planet. Right
Yes,
now.
I agree. Simon is it. man.
Like I've said this before, it's like as much as I am a Paul guy, if Paul doesn't win, he doesn't stay as relevant. Simon, whether he wins or not, is the guy. Simon never had to win to be a top dog in this space,
No, you're right. He never did. He,
and then he won, and it's
So you're saying
That's
you're
true.
saying he's a big germ then?
Well, no, he
Who?
had the like YouTube, the online following. He
He
had the
did.
trick
He
shot
he,
hype.
he
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 kind of had that before the Brody Smith,
Yeah.
phenomenon came around. Simon was like the cool trick shot YouTube dude. I mean, I bought a
No, nobody can throw that
Lozado
line.
MVP disc
Yep.
because of otherwise.
great disc.
Yeah, MVP's a good disc. I enjoy them.
I just bought it, put it in a bag. I'm never gonna
So-
throw it.
moving plastic is priority number one.
Right. That's what you look at, right? So that's why we keep Innova, their guys, I guess Barsby Eagles still sell well, and Big Germ Thunderbirds, and
also.
we know Firebirds.
Firebirds,
There's
yeah.
still,
Firebirds always sell.
and even though I hear a lot of people complaining, they're not the Firebirds they used to be. They're more pop
Who
toppy.
cares?
They're
They're
not
going to buy
flat.
them anyways. They
They're
came
gonna-
out with that cool Champion Halo Glow
I mean,
combination this
right.
year.
What-
It's
what-
weird and
I-
cool.
I need a Stardust disc. What is? I don't know what those are, but they look cool.
Other than Calvin, who is Innova's like next newcomer guy?
We've talked about this before. It was like nobody.
Like, I remember Innova's
Nathan
team
Queen.
like, a couple years ago was so stacked.
Philo, Nathan Queen,
And
Philo,
it seems like all of
Girthy.
their stock is now in the legends.
It's
of
the legacy
sport.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
the
it's
legacy
it's
players.
the legacy plastic.
Because you got Philo on DGN commentating.
Yeah.
You've got Nate. That his LVC Firebirds are always going to go for
$300,
crazy amount of
$400
money.
or whatever.
Big Germ on Joe Mez. His Thunderbirds are always going to go. Barsby's a world champ. He's got the Roadrunners, the Eagles. They're always going to
2018.
go.
huge European following.
And then Calvin,
Yeah.
obviously. Calvin's kind of the
Their
actual
guy.
competitor
Yeah.
that's got his.
They got
discs out
Zachariah
there
Johnson.
for-
I mean, Calvin's not a bad one to have if you're going to pick just
I mean, that's really though. That's it. I mean, Bradley Williams. If
I
you,
like Bradley
I think
Williams.
if you
Yeah.
put their top, man, if you like take the
Such a
top
smooth
5
player.
out of all of them, out of each maker, Prodigy probably wins that battle, right?
Ooh, you think? For
So
moving
the players?
plastic or for winning?
let's say podium finishes
Oh, yeah.
For this year.
for this year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
You could say wins. I think they'd crush in wins.
Yeah,
And
they
as-
did.
And as far as selling plastic, I have no idea.
Moving plastic, I don't think
I've
they're even-
never, I haven't seen a number on
Yeah, you'd
plastic.
have to go Innova Discraft.
I think
too.
Discraft might have
Yeah.
that one in the bag.
But like you said, I mean, Paul has to win. I mean, because now
Well,
you're
to be in like that number one spot, like he's got to
'Cause
be winning.
he don't hustle. Ricky still goes out and hustle a lot of discs, man.
Well,
That-
it's
that
also
dude's-
like Paul's focus in the game is so different.
It's
than
Yeah, I
from
think his
changed.
priorities
Right.
is almost it's philanthropy now. Like,
Yeah.
he's opening courses and
He's growing
third
the
world
sport.
countries. Like
Yeah.
he is hashtag grow the sport at this point.
He's made his money. He's trying to leave a legacy.
He just had a baby.
Yeah, congratulations, Paul.
Congratulations,
Congrats, Paul. I love you, man.
Can't
Congrats,
wait for that
Hannah.
kid. And
She's doing all the hard work
too.
too.
Hannah
He,
too,
he actually
yes.
hates.
Seawolf for
16
life.
years, he's gonna be
Seawolf and
throwing
Macbeth.
700 feet.
I'd throw 3 shots to this one.
Seriously though, imagine that. Like, it's kind of like, well, it'll be interesting because we see that with like Jordan's kids. Like, what's that like?
They never translate, dude.
Yeah.
I've never. I mean,
LeBron's kid, kind
Oh,
of
it's
trying,
happening.
kind of trying.
Kind
Oh, he's
of.
gonna stay in the league till he gets to play with his oldest son.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see like in 15, 16 years, does the kid even want to play disc golf? Is he a prodigy?
Ken Griffey Jr. and his dad got to
Charlie
play in a
Woods.
baseball game together.
Probably would.
See over
Yeah.
here. Cool stat.
What's that?
So I actually looked it up and it
Okay.
came right up. What disc golf manufacturer won the most tournaments on the disc golf pro tour this year?
Where's this from?
Don't
Statmando?
worry about that. It might be from Statman.
It's got to be Prodigy.
The answer is Prodigy, and Prodigy players have 20 combined victories in the MPO and
Holy.
FPO
Out of-
divisions
what was
at
it,
majors
36
and on
events?
the Disc Golf Pro Tour and Premier European Tours. 6 more wins than any other manufacturer.
Who was
So
second?
that combined MPO and FPO, I don't think it would change if you just looked at MPO, but I'm curious how much it
Well,
would change.
FPO, it's going to be Kristen.
Yeah,
Who
she-
won besides Kristen?
So, I think, and Prodigy's got such a big. Prodigy Europe is huge.
Yes.
So the Prodigy Tour over there, majority of FPO players, I think. But you know what? I'm not even going to say that because I don't know the answer to that. I'm not going to speculate. But that is, you guys were right.
I'm going to say Innova women were probably the best.
Maybe in like top threes.
Not with their putting.
Oh, towards the end of
If
the
they could putt,
season.
they would only be winning.
Who is
Ooh, hot take. I said this the other
who
day.
is Discraft's girl?
Oh,
Missy Gannon, who
yeah,
wins
Missy.
whenever there's a lot of money on
Oh,
the
and
line.
Big
Holly
stacks,
Holly
son.
Holly
I would like to
Hanley
win big money.
cheater. That disc was not in bounds. Don't say that.
Yeah, she broke.
Who else? Who else is? I feel like there was some other names I was reading, obviously, that are moving. I mean, what does it mean for 'em? I wouldn't want to move because what if you have like a series disc, right? Why would you give that up?
Why
it
would you?
depends. What if it's not selling well?
And I have to look in the mirror, say, "Damn, I must suck. Why is nobody buying my disc?"
Yeah, I mean,
You have to sell yourself, right? That's what this is.
Today's day and age right now.
disc golf's so interesting. There's no like league minimum. You know, you think of these other professional sports leagues where people are getting league minimums at the worst. They can still make sponsorship money and all this other stuff. Isn't, in my mind, financial incentive has got to be among the most important thing until that player is financially.
And that's why disc sales are king.
Well, and so one thing back to the topic that we were discussing about fitness, you know, that is Ezra's got. I believe he has endorsements from fitness companies. Like he's kind of tapped that.
Surprise me.
You know, he's
Tap.
I wonder for how long.
man.
Let's be honest. Like, is the disc golf community really gonna buy in that much to fitness?
I would love to see those metrics.
or
Because
into
like, I think it's a great
dispensaries,
idea,
maybe.
and I'm glad that he is getting sponsorship from fitness type businesses.
I
but,
mean,
like,
It
how
is
many-
just him.
How many
Yeah.
disc golf fans sitting on their couch watching?
No,
PGA and are
none.
Like, I'm gonna go sign
No,
up for this gym
not me.
membership now.
no.
Oh, I'm totally getting the plane.
I will buy your super
to
cool
use the shower.
stamp disc that I can never throw before I will go to.
I just think there is an untapped market out there for it because we saw the Pro Tour 300,000 plus this year. That's huge, right? Every year they're getting substantially more money,
Yep.
and it's only going to go up. LL Bean was a sponsor this year. That brings in a company that has nothing to do with disc golf. Now their clothes are probably worn by disc golfers, but that is, I think, the future with disc golf is they have to start tapping these untapped markets of getting endorsements and sponsorships from companies that otherwise might not have had anything to do with disc golf.
Yes, and well, the thing is that we're finally to the point where people are noticing, right? Like we're getting viewership enough, we're getting purse amounts enough that people are noticing, and so now it's like these initial sponsorships are so important because this is gonna set the precedent for any other sponsorships that come in
Sure.
that go, you know, this is how well this does, this is how well we are treated in this space. It is a big deal right now.
Mhm.
Like this sets the stage going forward.
Barbasol, year 2. That's great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because everyone that gets into disc golf dying, first thing you go buy is some Barbasol shaving cream.
Yeah, they definitely have
You
the
know,
connection.
they probably that's not why they have that connection, though, right? I mean,
It's
it's
gotta
got
be a
it's
part
got to
of
be
it, right?
shaving.
I
I
would-
mean,
I think it's probably a chunk, right?
I would bet a lot of money that conversation
We
was
have
had
a
in
dozen cans of Barbasol shaving cream in the garage just for disc
I
golf.
thought that
When
was.
they are-
I thought
when
we were
they
gonna go
announced
shaving cream people's houses.
We're not all
Oh,
heathens.
Oh, okay.
Wilford.
Well, I thought he lives close. We can throw toilet paper in his
You
yard.
don't know where I live.
You told me.
I have to admit, when I shave, I
Not
don't
that hard
use
to find.
I'm gonna
Barbasol.
tell you the wrong place.
Stone Links
Stone
Tuesday
Links,
night.
You know that big ass house at Stone Links that's in the corner? That's
where we live.
Yeah,
on 1314 over there.
It had its lights on the other day. That was
Oh, really?
weird. Yeah, it freaked me out.
What? Oh,
Yes.
that is frightening.
The
it's
outside
Halloween
lights
too.
were on.
We should go. You should do a remote podcast. Just go break into that vacant house and just go sit up there in the upper deck that looks over the course.
Could be our first
Oh.
YouTube live
I
stream.
wish we
Coming
could.
to you live.
I mean, how much trouble could we really get in if we were?
Well,
No,
now that we're
just be
talking about
respectful,
it,
man. Let's actually clean it up. We'll leave it better than we found it, and we'll
That's-
give it exposure.
that's all
Maybe
I
it'll
ever-
sell.
Leave no
Um,
trace policy.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I wish you could sit there and make. I want to do like they do in ball golf, where you make fun of people when they're about to tee off.
oh, the back off challenge.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah,
You look up. There's just some funny ones, man. People say to these guys,
be a great series.
it would be pretty funny.
Do a
But
9-hole
man,
back off challenge.
but man, you gonna hurt. I can hurt people.
YouTube content.
Hurt people's feelings is
Well,
not.
give 'em a
It's not in
disclaimer.
this.
Yeah, give him a disclaimer.
This is going to be not
You don't
nice.
have to watch.
The whole point is to be really not nice.
Oh, that would not go well. But
So, how much time have we gone?
I don't know.
I don't even know. When did y'all start?
A long while.
All right,
I
we
think I've
can.
been going for 2 hours.
That's fine. We can finish it up, man. We're just kind of talking. We don't
We're
really
just
have
over the 2-hour mark.
Okay, well, it's been fantastic.
It's healthy.
because this is really gonna kind of be
Return of the Dan. Let's get all the views, guys.
Yeah, Return of the Dan,
See these
and
metrics.
we're gonna.
This guy's on Bumble, Tinder, Hinge, what?
Grinder.
Talking about Seawolf, right?
Grinder is an official sponsor of this podcast. If you guys didn't know, you have to use it. I signed us up for it. Sorry. Yeah, you have to go on one
That's
date.
great.
It's part of.
Speaking of sponsorships. So, anyways, yeah, a lot of cool things happening in the Pro Tour. I'm curious to meet Gavin Babcock, so maybe we can get that happening.
Well,
since he's
dude,
a
we'll
big
tell him you're an
involved.
old wrestler too, dude. We'll let you guys put some tights on and roll around the floor together.
That'll be the seller for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. We'll film that and then get up and throw a putt.
Content, baby.
Odd, it's gonna be odd.
Content.
And
No idea is a bad idea. I guess.
well, that's right. And these mics, thanks for getting these mics, Chris. They worked well.
Hey, man, we've all pitched in our
They sure
you
did.
know our part.
Sure.
I think we're gonna hear about half a dance by the
got that
the monitor levels. Oh, good. Oh,
I don't know.
good
Yeah, I
one,
probably goofed up my mic level here.
Mister. I know what I'm doing, and then 2 sentences in. Yeah, man. So I'm over here.
And rewind to 2 podcasts ago where we did the same thing.
Oh my god.
That was.
Sorry, I don't have a fixed mic perfectly in my face.
We're gonna get Dan a mic because I have a feeling he's a reoccurring guest.
I actually like.
Well,
the
y'all
whole,
keep doing podcasts in my house. I'm gonna have to be.
Yeah, we'll do
You
it.
got
This is
choice.
true. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So we can do it in my room. We can go up on that loft.
Go
We can go
up
up
on the
there in
loft.
that loft.
Dude,
and do
yeah,
we'll all
sick.
fall in.
I am not climbing that fucking ladder. I mean, darn ladder.
Golly, man. But we're gonna have to give $20 to a charity. That's for sure on this podcast.
Garage will be the spot once we get.
Yeah, the garage will be the spot. That's gonna be the happening.
Actually, that would be great for video because we'll have baskets out there, so we can
Yeah.
make content while we're making a
Yeah.
podcast.
So yeah, this will be shown on.
Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify. I quit doing I was asked not to do the video on Spotify because of the amount of data that it uses up.
You can go audio only on Spotify.
Okay, so
though,
I
from a
yeah.
consumer.
I
most
didn't
of them,
know I didn't know what to tell him when he told me that. So I said, I'll just
it on
rip the
YouTube, too.
video. I'll
Tell
just
them to learn up then.
it's Matt Bratcher. So we.
Come
I
on,
mean,
Bratcher,
yeah.
learn up, bro.
Sorry, Matt. I'm gonna do it for you still. And then, like I said, we'll be YouTube live next Monday, and then we'll start posting everything, or I'll start posting everything on Natural State of Mind's Facebook page, and we'll piggyback off all the other ones.
YouTube live, no cuts, huh?
It's gonna be dope.
It's always like that, anyways. Really, I don't cut
Can't wait to
anything.
barge in here.
Yeah, no joke,
cut
dude.
another
Just
one.
come in and just in your workout clothes and stuff. You're like, oh, I just got done working out.
For longevity.
Yeah,
Longevity.
longevity.
For my
So,
disc golf longevity. Oh man, good one.
so,
You
but
guys have chimed in some.
all right. So let's go around the table. Mike, you got anything else?
Nope. As always, good luck. Don't suck.
I like that. Dan, what you got, bud? What's your words of wisdom, if it's positive, and tell these people, damn.
I mean, embrace the unexpected. I got off work, came home, was going to watch some Sunday Night Football and drink bourbon on my couch, but instead I'm doing a podcast, and I'm having a pretty dang good time. So
That's good. And still drinking bourbon.
Because the
And,
couch was taken over.
he basically came home and there was 3 dudes on his couch and they're filming themselves. And so,
I'm gonna
Well, I
stay
was-
quiet.
as always, do unto others as you had them do unto you. Going back to what you post, better watch out. Stuff comes back on you. That's all I got to say.
The golden rule, huh?
Man, I
Alright.
believe in it more than anything, man, because
well, it's not cryptic or anything.
I haven't been. I
Keep
mean,
this
so, yeah, no,
Yeah,
I've
there was
not been
nothing
cryptic.
about it.
Man, I am enjoying the hell out of making this podcast. Dan, I'm so glad that you came in at the right time.
Me too.
Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. That's, enjoy disc golf.
Enjoy disc golf. It's right, man, and make it a positive thing. There's nothing about that. Keyboard warriors. There's nothing positive about that stuff. So, peace and love.
Later, guys. YouTube Live coming next.
Yeah.